गुड इवनिंग मालिक, होपफुली एवरीबॉडी इज डूइंग गुड और आशा करता हूँ कि आप तोड़ कर होंगे मालिक। तो बेसिकली दिस सेशन इज स्टार्टिंग विद रिविजन्स फॉर योर ऑडिटिंग पार्ट। ऑडिटिंग वाले कॉन्सेप्ट दिख रहे हैं। तो गुड इवनिंग हर्षी, गुड इवनिंग चारू जी। तो बेसिकली वी आर स्टार्टेड राइट नाउ। तो ऑडिटिंग में वी विल बी यूजिंग अगेन द सेम TRB बुक, टोड रिवीजन बुक। दिस सॉफ्ट कॉपी इज ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड ऑन टेलीग्राम चैनल। ऑलरेडी दिस पर्टिकुलर बुक इज शेयर्ड वेयर इट इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ SM एंड ऑडिट। दोनों का कॉम्बिनेशन है, दोनों के कॉम्बिनेशन में आपको ये बुक मिल जाती है। तो इनिशियली 52 पेजेस ऑफ SM एंड आफ्टर दैट इट्स ऑलमोस्ट 100 पेजेस विच इज ऑफ ऑडिट। तो राइट नाउ टुडेज लेक्चर विल बी फोकसिंग ऑन with respect to your chapter 1 and chapter 11. These are the two chapters we'll be covering on. Basically with context wise, if we focus on last attempt September 24, chapter 1 was for 5 marks, 2 marks for MCQ and 3 marks for theory part. In your May 24 paper, the chapter 1 was for 3 marks approximately, and then chapter 11 comes into picture, which is approximately 7 to 8 marks. 8 marks approximately it was there with respect to first part and the second part. SM questions will discuss at later stage. I already communicated, अभी अपन डिस्कस करेंगे और आज लेक्चर खत्म करेंगे। लेक्चर approximately 1.5 hour. After that we can discuss with an SM question. ये पॉइंट मैंने आपको अपडेट किया था मालिक। Okay, we'll be doing that way only. Okay. So today let's complete with respect to your basically with respect to your chapter 1 and chapter 11. Okay, so let's start with your chapter 1. Chapter 1 is basically what is an auditing, what is nature, scope, it's okay, or origin doesn't matter for me. The main question is auditing definition. Auditing means what? It is an independent examination of financial information of any entity, whether profit oriented or not, and irrespective of its size or legal form. When such examination is conducted with a view to express an opinion. तो पहला पॉइंट definition of auditing ध्यान रखिए। Okay sir, we need to write this definition in auditing in examination only if the question is asking so. Example, the question can be asked in the form of like this: explain or define auditing, and along with this part they can ask what is the scope of auditing or what are the inherent limitation of audit. Then you will be writing a definition of audit. Other than that, don't require to be focused on definitions of audit as such. तो गगनदीप जी, राधे राधे मालिक। तो तोड़ मालिक, first point, definition of auditing is basically a concept which you need to remember. The second point, can the person who is doing the auditing, does he require to have a knowledge of multiple subjects? Answer is yes, and that is called interdisciplinary nature of auditing, relationship with diverse subjects. Now to remember this all 8 points, the concept is very simple. You can remember all foundation के 4 subjects and 3 subjects from inter, and 1 subject is called behavior science. So total 8 points are there, 8 subjects are there which auditor need to have that knowledge as such. So sir, what are the 8 subjects? If you focus on first is nothing but accounting. First is nothing but accounting. First is nothing but accounting. The second is law. The third is economics. Fourth is maths and stat. This is how I will be remembering foundation paper. Okay. After that, in intermediate, financial management and cost accounting, that is called production. And along with one more paper is that called strategic management. But strategic management was with EIS now. Therefore, it is called data processing. So total 7 papers are there. In inter group 1 is already there, but that is already covered as such. Accounting is covered, law, tax is covered as such in laws only. And one more area is called behavior science. Behavior science means human behavior. Basically, auditor will be involved in more of inquiries. While doing the inquiry, you should be aware how the human behavior or human psychology is there. Therefore, that particular person should be also be having a confidence on the subject which is called behavior science. So these are the 8 nature of disciplinary, interdisciplinary nature for which we need to interact with the audit. Please make sure you understand this point very clearly from an MCQ point of view. Theoretical answer, it's okay, it's a hard, not a major context of theory, but in MCQ, the concept may come like this. Example, in auditing and auditing, when you are doing the auditing and accounting, which knowledge is required? So remember, you require a sound knowledge. Which knowledge? Sound knowledge. Of law, you require which knowledge? Good knowledge. So remember this keyword for MCQ Malik. Okay, MCQ में आपको option आ सकता है. Okay, so an auditor requires which knowledge of accounting? Sound, good, fair knowledge, or bad knowledge, or something like that. So you need to remember, you will be writing a sound knowledge. But for law, you require a good knowledge. Okay, basically a detailed version or no overview as such. So law may be require overview. Okay, even a tax law is a part of law only. Taxation is also a part of law. In economics, you are required to focus on microeconomics more rather than macroeconomics. Behavior science is required for inquiry purpose. Mainly, you will be interacting the people through inquiry. Maths and stats, okay, in auditing, we always use statistics. Okay, sampling concept as such. Statistics is used. Therefore, for sampling purpose, you require maths ka knowledge. Remember this point from MCQ. Data processing without technology, nowadays data cannot be gathered. Therefore, you require a technological knowledge, a subject knowledge. Financial management, we are focusing on the cash flow, fund flow and other ratios. These are the reason why we require the concept of knowledge of financial management, and last point is production. Basically, if you are into the cost concept or factory wala concept, then you require this particular production knowledge. This is basically MCQ context you need to remember. So MCQ can be there with respect to this element. After that, the concept comes is objective and audit. What is an objective audit? The objective audit is very simple. It's a fair enough. It is nothing but to obtain a reasonable assurance that financial statement as a whole are free from material misstatement. Continuation is there because I have written only this point because of TRB. Other than that, you can remember this one. Whether due to fraud or error, and it enables auditor to provide an opinion that financial statements in all material respects are in accordance with AFRF. AFRF का full form is applicable financial reporting framework. I hope this point is clear. तो ये पहला objective है, and second objective to report on financial statement and communicate in accordance with SA के हिसाब से communicate करना है. तो ये दो objective auditor के लिए रहेंगे. यहाँ पर सबसे important word है reasonable assurance. Sir, what is a reasonable assurance? Reasonable assurance is any high level of assurance, but which is not an absolute assurance. Absolute assurance मतलब 100% guarantee. Reasonable assurance मतलब आपके लिए 100% guarantee नहीं होती है मालिक. It is near about, so we can discuss high level of assurance but not an absolute assurance. This is what exactly you should focus here with respect to reasonable assurance. ये concept आपने ध्यान रखना चाहिए. Okay. Secondly, in financial statement, if there can be a misstatement, only for a particular item but not as a whole, this is one of the worst as such you will come across. So therefore, you need to check this particular in totality. Financial statement you need to check in totality, not in individual item. Individual item there may be misstatement, there may be material focusing on individuality, but compared to the whole, it may not be material. So therefore, you need to check materiality from financial statement as a whole. Therefore, very important point. The financial statement as a whole is very important here. तो अब आता है next concept, that is called scope of audit. Now the scope of audit, if we focus on, this was a September 24 question, but it was not scope of audit बताइए, it was out of the scope कौन सा है ये बताइए. I hope you are getting this point. Out of the scope कौन सा है ये बताइए. That was a question. Scope and out of the scope both will be discussing here. तो scope and out of the scope ये दोनों है. ये जो out of the scope है ये September 24 में आ चुका है मालिक. तो first of all, what is the scope of audit? तो there are total 3 areas which is scope of audit. First, cover all aspects of the entity. लेकिन remember, you will be covering all aspects of entity which is related to financial statement. You will not be covering anything which is not related to financial statement. So anything which is related to financial statement, you need to cover in all aspects of entity. Second point, you should focus on reliability and sufficiency of financial information. What is the meaning of reliability and sufficiency of financial information? Basically, all financial information will have some source. Source का मतलब क्या होगा? Vouchers होंगे, documents होंगे, information होगी, whatever information may be. That source need to be checked for 2 things. One is reliability and sufficiency. When I say reliability and sufficiency, मतलब confidence आना चाहिए मुझे उस source के ऊपर. And ये source जो आएगा वो system से आएगा. System means which system? Accounting system. And accounting system will be checking the controls. So we will be doing or we will be testing the controls. So technically, if you focus on this second point, you need to understand study and assessment of accounting system and internal controls are required by performing tests, inquiries and procedures. That's main part as such. After that, you are focusing on proper disclosure in financial statement. You need to check that whether all disclosure in financial statement has been given or not. Remember 3-4 points in this particular paragraph. First, disclosure is proper as per statutory requirement or not. First thing. Secondly, when we are discussing about disclosure, there is a judgment which has been applied by management, whether that judgment is correct or not, sufficiently precise or not. Third scenario, very important scenario, here accounting policies which has been mentioned in disclosure should be consistent enough, fair enough, and you have complied with all laws and regulation that need to be taken care. So here, auditor should keep in mind applicable statutory law requirement as such in this regard. Historical ये वाला point है, इसके इधर तक कहानी खत्म हो जाती है, which is called a concept of scope. I hope ये point scope के लिए clear है. तो scope में आप याद रखना, इसके अंदर मसाला लिखते हो, statutory requirement है ना, तो इसके अंदर 3 मसाला है. याद रखना, पहला point disclosure बरोबर है कि नहीं, second statutory requirement बरोबर है कि नहीं, third point you can also focus on whether the compliance is taken care of or not, or most important, the last point will be accounting policy is consistent or not. This is need to be taken care in the masala of this concept. तो what you will be writing for the scope of audit? Scope of audit ये आंसर रहेंगे 3 part head point मसाला. मसाला में थोड़ा content मसाला. First masala is very one liner. Second and third masala will be detailed masala. Masala means content as such. This need to be taken care. After that, when we are discussing about audit, there is called the concept of HFI. I will discuss HFI in next 10-15 minutes, not right now. तो HFI को अभी हाल फिलहाल छोड़ देते हैं मालिक. HFI का full form है historical financial information. HFI का historical financial information, that is called HFI. Okay. After that, what is out of the scope of audit? The first point, anything which is falling outside the domain of the competence, auditor will not do the checking. Example, two example for this particular point. First example is already not written here, but need to be taken here. Plant and machinery. Plant and machinery. I hope you are already aware. Plant and machinery. Physical verification will not be done by auditor. Physical verification will not be done by auditor. Verification will not be done by auditor. It need to be done by engineer. So that skill is not with auditor. So ऑडिटर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं है फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन करना, बट फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन हुआ या नहीं हुआ ये चेक करना ऑडिटर की जिम्मेदारी में आ सकता है, बट दैट वेरिफिकेशन करना इज अ पार्ट ऑफ इंजीनियर विच इज नॉट इन कॉम्पिटेंसी ऑफ ऑडिटर. आई होप ये पॉइंट क्लियर. सेकंड, ऑन ऑडिटर इज नॉट एन एक्सपर्ट ऑफ ऑथेंटिकेशन ऑफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स. यानी एग्जांपल, इफ डॉक्यूमेंट्स वो सही है या गलत है ये पता करना है, हु विल बी वेरीफाइंग दिस वन? द एक्सपर्ट हु इज ए लीगल एक्सपर्ट बट नॉट एन ऑडिटर. इट इज नॉट इन द स्कोप ऑफ ऑडिटिंग. आई होप ये पॉइंट भी क्लियर है, आपके स्कोप ऑफ ऑडिटिंग में नहीं आता है. एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट, ऑडिट इज डिस्टिंक्ट फ्रॉम इन्वेस्टिगेशन. व्हाई सर? Because investigation start with some agenda. Agenda can be, there can be a fraud, and because of fraud I am starting an investigation in that area. In audit there is no concept of agenda. Our objective is simple, that financial statement should be free from material misstatement. Auditing is broader in concept and investigation is narrow in concept. Remember from MCQ point of view. और difference between अगर आता है तो ये context आपको लिखना होगा. Two more points you can add it out. Okay, here one point is financial statement preparation. Who will prepare financial statement? It is management preparation. It is management and not an auditor. So one is outside the scope, preparation of financial statement in accordance with AFRF. What is the full form of AFRF? Applicable Financial Reporting Framework. I hope this point is clear now. And most important, one more, internal control. Internal control किसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होगी? मैनेजमेंट की. इंटरनल कंट्रोल इज आउट ऑफ द स्कोप. इंटरनल कंट्रोल को चेक करेगा ऑडिटर. इंटरनल कंट्रोल को ऑडिटर क्या करेगा बेटा? इंटरनल कंट्रोल को क्या करेगा ऑडिटर? इंटरनल कंट्रोल को क्या करेगा ऑडिटर? इंटरनल कंट्रोल को चेक करेगा. इंटरनल कंट्रोल को चेक करेगा, बट इंटरनल कंट्रोल डिजाइन करना, इंप्लीमेंट करना, मेंटेन करना इज नॉट ए रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ ऑडिटर. आई होप ये पॉइंट क्लियर है मालिक, एवरीबडी? till here ये scope वाला point. Okay, this can be the first LDR. Scope वाला point can be first LDR for your examination point of view. तो first LDR of your chapter 1 is basically this. First वाले दो point आप MCQ वगैरह के हिसाब से याद रखिए. After that comes is your next concept, that is called ILA. ILA का full form is inherent limitation of audit. ILA का full form is inherent limitation of audit. What is the meaning of inherent limitation of audit? Basically in audit, why we are able to give only reasonable assurance and why not absolute assurance? Why I am not able to give absolute assurance? The reason is simple. There are total 5 reasons which need to be kept in mind as such. तो ILA में first reason is basically nature of financial reporting. See, understand, when financial reporting is done, okay, it is including some judgments, and judgments are applied by management, which is subjective in nature. And because of its subjective nature, there is a high degree of uncertainty. Degree of uncertainty actually, not a high degree of uncertainty, but degree of uncertainty. Because of which, okay, we cannot say that financial statements are exactly सही है, क्योंकि uncertainty होने की chances है because of judgment. And that is where we need to understand nature of financial reporting is making me difficult to give an absolute assurance. This is your first point. And even one more point we can discuss in this part is basically, while preparation of financial statement we are relying on control. Controls are effective, but technically controls also have their own inherent limitation as such, and because of which there may be a problem as such. This is your first point, nature of financial reporting. Nature of financial reporting is basically judgments involve a subjective decision है, a degree of uncertainty है, and controls may not have operated to produce reliable financial information, and we relied on that control actually. तो control के भी खुद के limitations है, तो उसकी वजह से आपके पास जो फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन है वो रिलायबल नहीं होगी, प्रोबेबिलिटी है. Second point, nature of audit procedure. What are the audit procedure we have? We can do inquiry, we can do confirmation, we can do analytical procedure, we can do inspection, we can do observation, we can do reperformance, we can do recalculation. These are the 7 points. If you remember, I always use a shortcut for this, that is called ICAIORR. ICAIORR. Okay, what is meaning of ICAIORR? I, inquiry. Confirmation. C, confirmation. A, analytical procedure. I, inspection. O, observation. Reperformance, recalculation. These are the 7 procedures I have. With respect to these 7 procedures, I can take the evidence from you. But if client says I will not be giving an evidence, if client says I will not be giving an evidence, there is no much I can do it. These are the procedures by which I can get the evidence. But if client is denying to provide evidence, I don't have the power because of legal limitations. Legally, I can't do anything because I am not an investigator. No, Malik. That is what you need to remember. But this is one of the point. And second point is a practical problem. Practical problem, the evidence is given by management. If management is giving me evidence which is forged evidence, I cannot cannot do much because I'm relying on the management information. I'm relying on management to give the information to me. And if management is doing a sophisticated fraud, what is the meaning of sophisticated fraud? Management himself is involved in a fraud, so therefore he will be doing the sophisticated fraud, and by which he is giving me an evidence. This will be a biggest problem for me, and that's how where I cannot do much with my procedure as such. My procedure will be ICI ORR. That's how exactly what we need to remember with this second point as such. Management may not provide complete information as requested by auditor, and the management consists of dishonest and unscrupulous people. I hope that who is doing a fraud. Is it full in English? No मालिक, वो ऑटोमेटिकली आ जा रहा है. अभी वो थोड़ा इंटर का बैच चालू है, इसीलिए वो फुल इन इंग्लिश हो जा रहा है. मतलब ऐसा नहीं वो कॉन्सेप्ट आ रहा है तो मतलब इंग्लिश नहीं समझ में आ रही क्या? वो अभी कोई सामने रहा ना, वो अभी फ्लो ऐसा रहता है. अभी सामने वाली बैच में मॉर्निंग में मेरे को भी डाउट आ रहा है. ओके, तो मतलब इट इज एन इंग्लिश लैंग्वेज, ए कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ इट. ओके, आई होप यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग ना. Legal limitation, I will be repeating it out, but I hope you are understanding. I hope you are understanding, na? Because at the end of the day, you will be writing in English, na Malik. But definitely, when humor is required, that English will not work. Okay, so, but to the extent, it's okay, fair enough. Okay. Just I am discussing about two limitations. In nature of audit procedure, there are two limitations. What are the two limitations, Malik? In nature of audit procedure, one is legal limitation and one is practical limitation. First point, what is a legal limitation? Legal limitation means, okay, if management is not giving me any evidence, what can I do? I cannot do anything here. I cannot do anything here, Malik. I cannot do anything here. I cannot do anything. I hope ये समझ में आ रहा है. I cannot do because I don't have any legal power as such. If I go to the client, I suppose my client is management is saying I will not give anything to you. Now in this scenario, what I will do? What I can do? I cannot go to the court and say, I cannot go to the police inspector and say, but he is not giving evidence. Max to max, I can report that disclaimer of opinion, something like that. If you remember, inability to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence. But technically you need to understand this is called legal limitation. And one more point is practical limitation. Practical limitation is basically where management is giving me a information which is a fraud information. Management is giving which information? Fraud information, because management may be of dishonest people, and management is such a position that they can modify policy and procedure, and this is one of the biggest problem where we are focusing on practical limitations. This is called practical limitation. I hope both the limitations you are clear, Malik. Both the limitations I hope you are clear, Malik. Both the limitations are clear. So while writing a masala, you just need to remember this. Both the limitations are there, which has been discussed here. So just technically inherent limitations of the concept is there. Now the concept goes on the next one, that is called it is not in nature of investigation. Just here you remember, you will be writing the masala only one liner, that investigation and audit is not same. One is broad in concept and one is narrow in concept. Investigation is narrow and audit is broad. That's it. Don't write any other extraordinary here. Any other extraordinary here. But that's it. That's the masala. Next point is very important, that is called timeliness of financial reporting and decrease in relevance of information over a time. Now what is this concept here, Malik? Remember this one. This is very technical concept. Remember 2 points here. First of all, when I get the information, if I'm an auditor, when I get the information and when that transaction is occurred, there is a gap. Example, suppose transaction is occurred on 1st of April or 10th of April and I'm doing the audit in month of June. Now when I'm getting that information in June, which was that for the transaction which has taken place during month of April. Now when the transaction was occurred and when I am getting the information, the relevance is reduced actually. What is the logic behind it? The logic is very simple. If I tell you institute has brought amendment right now, okay, and after 10 days, again I am telling you institute has brought amendment, definitely the relevance of information after 10 days will be lower. Therefore, nowadays people are vomiting on social media, and now this come, this may come, this amendment come, this amendment come, this amendment come on the day one. That who will be the first person to share this information? This always happens in social media. Why? Because of the particular person is actually sharing the information on social media. अरे यार, yes, मैंने share किया हुआ, ये मैं पहला person हूँ. Okay, I don't know what we will be getting with by sharing the first person, but to the extent, definitely that is how the concept works actually. So this is what you need to understand, that the 4th point says timeliness of financial information and the relevance of information which I am getting, may be a gap may be there, and because of which there may be a chance that a reasonable assurance is provided and there can be an audit risk. Example, there may be a chance that there may be a error or fraud which may missed out from my end. And one more point which has been discussed here is basically we need to ensure that there should be a balance between reliability of information and cost of obtaining it. Now, what is the meaning of reliability of information and cost of obtaining it? Please understand, when I say reliability of information, first evidence I got, second evidence I got, third evidence I got. Now tell me, okay, after first I'll be more happy or less happy? Okay, happy. Second I'll be more happy. Third I'll be more happy. Fourth I'll be more happy. Fifth I'll be tore happy. But how much numbers you will be taking to make yourself happy? That is very biggest question. And therefore you need to balance between reliability of information and cost of obtaining it. तो कितना information आपको लेना है और and कितना reliable information आपको करना है, ये तो questionable point है ना मालिक. Because even with 2 point you can be have a faith on reliability. Even with 3 point you can focus on reliability. Even with 4 point you can focus on reliability. That's it. This is where the concept works with respect to balance of stuck between reliability of information and cost of obtaining it. ये अपने को ध्यान रखना होगा. एंड लास्ट कॉन्सेप्ट इज बेसिकली फ्यूचर इवेंट. फ्यूचर इवेंट इज नथिंग बट वेयर ऑडिटर कैनॉट कमेंट ऑन एनीथिंग अबाउट फ्यूचर, इवन इफ आई एम सेइंग दैट फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स आर इन अकॉर्डेंस विद गोइंग कंसर्न बेसिस. बट एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, आई होप यू आर गेटिंग दिस कॉन्सेप्ट. एट द एंड ऑफ द डे, आई डू थिंक यू आर गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट. ओके, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे it depends on future uncertainty, which can be anything. Consumer preference can change, market can change, legal can change. That cannot be in control in my hand, na? That is where the concept comes as future events. The business may cease to exist in future due to changes in market condition, emergence of new business model or product, something like technological changes, something like that. And this is where inherent limitation of audit comes into picture. And this was basically a question which has been asked in May 24 paper, Malik. So this was a question again May 24, but at any point of time this is again an LDR. So second LDR is basically after scope is nothing but inherent limitation of audit, which is called ILA. This question can come in other way also. What is the other way, sir? Other way is why auditor is not able to give reasonable absolute assurance. Why he is able to give reasonable assurance? Answer remains same. These are the 5 reasons why he is not able to give absolute assurance and he is able to give reasonable assurance. That need to be taken care. Bharat Mata ki jai. I hope clear, Malik. After that the concept comes is what is an engagement. Engagement means क्या? Engagement means an arrangement to do something. It is an arrangement that I will be doing something. Okay, अपन दोनों के बीच में engagement हुआ है, will be doing something. That is called engagement. What is an external audit engagement? External audit engagement is basically to enhance the degree of confidence of whom intended user of financial statement. Okay, the external audit engagement is basically it is increasing the confidence of whom? Shareholders. Now shareholder is what? Shareholder is nothing but intended users of whom? Financial statements. Therefore, okay, here we will be discussing an assurance engagement discussion which will be in after 5-10 minutes. Okay, we will be discussing about assurance engagement and what are the elements of assurance engagement. There are total 5 elements of assurance engagement. If you remember, one is your practitioner, second is responsible party, third is subject matter, fourth is criteria, and fifth basically a report and other things. Basically a report and report का context जो भी आएगा, sufficient appropriate evidence, something like that. Now next question comes is benefits of audit. Ratto for this, okay, read once, after that leave it out. So what are the benefits of audit? Remember, okay, audit will be benefited for whom? First of all, remember 4 points. It will be benefited for shareholder, it will be benefited for government, it will be benefited for bank and lenders. And one more point, you remember it will be benefited for employee, but it is not benefited for employee, it will be a moral check on employee. So 4 name, remember this point: shareholder, government, bank and employee. Shareholder, government, bank, employee. After that, audit can give high quality information, and at same time, because it is giving high quality information, it can detect error and fraud. 2 things, and most important, because we are doing the testing of controls, we can also identify deficiency in internal control. We can identify deficiency in internal control. These are the 7 advantage to be focusing out. So भाई साहब 7 point कौन से? First of all, this is nothing but a second point, that is called a shareholder. Okay, this is government authority, this is lender, and this is on employee. This is how your focus goes on. After that, okay, most important, high quality information. One more there, fraud and error, and this is basically existing in operation of various control, basically a deficiency. And second point में याद रखना, it is for shareholder. ये shareholder के लिए है. तो I hope this point is very clear. Easy answer है. एक बार read मारो. It will least chances, but part and parcel of your syllabus. Whether audit should be mandatory, what it is mandatory or voluntary, it depends. Okay, if it is a company act, a company audit is there, then it is definitely a Which audit? Mandatory audit. But if we discuss about proprietorship, we discuss about partnership firm, then it is voluntary audit. There may be a certain scenario where government is giving subsidy, and because I want to give a subsidy, I want your financial statement to be audited, and that can be also a concept of auditing point. So technically, okay, there are entities, companies who require compulsory audited. Many entities get their account audited voluntarily because benefits are there from audit. And now, what are the benefits from audit? We have discussed already. These are the benefits from audit. After that, we are discussing who can appoint the auditor. I hope ये आंसर तो आपका लॉ में क्लियर होगा. जनरल मीटिंग में, एजीएम में ऑडिटर अपॉइंट किया जाता है ओनर, शेयर होल्डर. गवर्नमेंट कंपनी है, हु अपॉइंट द ऑडिटर? कैग. दिस इज योर सिनेरियो नीड टू बी टेकन केयर ऑफ. दैट्स इट. दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच यू नीड टू बी फोकस्ड ऑन. नेक्स्ट, किसको रिपोर्ट सबमिट की जाती है? रिपोर्ट इज सबमिटेड टू पर्सन हु हैज मेड हिज अपॉइंटमेंट. दैट्स इट. ओके, ये कॉन्सेप्ट खत्म कर दो, एक बार रीड मारो, उसके बाद छोड़ दो. नथिंग कंपल्सरी, नथिंग एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी हियर. दिस इज ओनली वन रीडिंग एंड skip it out. After that, now comes is basically what is the meaning of assurance engagement. Now when I say assurance engagement, remember assurance engagement includes total 3 engagement. One is audit engagement, one is review engagement, and one is other than HFI engagement under assurance engagement, which is called reasonable assurance, limited assurance, and other than HFI. These are the 3 assurance engagement. But what exactly is an assurance engagement? Remember this. Assurance engagement is nothing but an engagement in which practitioner, a kind of auditor. See, assurance engagement include total 3 engagement. Okay, that can be an audit, that can be a review, other than HFI. ये 3 engagement होते हैं. Okay, अच्छा, total 4 engagement CA ले सकता है, ये याद है ना आपको? Audit ले सकता है, review ले सकता है, other than HFI, and most important is related services. ये 4 engagement है. But last में assurance नहीं देते, first 3 में assurance देते हैं. तो first 3 में assurance देते हैं, तो अगर मैं बोलूंगा इधर auditor लिखूंगा, the problem is that auditor is only in audit, not in review. Okay, not in other than HFI. There can be other person also. Therefore, we are using the common word that is called practitioner. So here the assurance engagement say, okay, engagement in which practitioner express a conclusion designed to enhance the degree of confidence. A practitioner is explaining conclusion. If it is an audit engagement, auditor expressing a conclusion. समझ में आया? Opinion. Okay, to design to enhance the degree of confidence of the whom intended users other than responsible party. Responsible party मतलब जिसने ये financial statement बनाया है या कोई भी information subject matter बनाया है about the outcome of evaluation or measurement of subject matter against the criteria. तो आपको टोटल क्या क्या चीजें यहां पर आई है याद करना है. एंड दैट इज नथिंग बट एलिमेंट्स ऑफ एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट. तो हाउ मेनी एलिमेंट्स ऑफ एश्योरेंस एंगेजमेंट आर देयर? 5. फर्स्ट, देयर इज अ 3 party relationship. Who are the 3 party? First is me, that is called okay practitioner. Second is the management or TCWG, those who are charged with governance, that is called responsible party. And third, shareholder, that is called intended users. These are the 3 points. Second, there is a subject matter. Subject matter means what? Financial statement. Example, if I discuss from audit point of view, it is a financial statement which is subject matter. After that, suitable criteria, AFRF, applicable financial reporting framework, accounting standard is nothing but suitable criteria. 4th point, sufficient appropriate evidence. Just make sure you are not writing sufficient appropriate audit evidence, because if you focus on sufficient appropriate audit evidence, you will be mentioning only from audit point of view. But this particular point is nothing to do with audit. It is assurance which include more than audit. Therefore, we are using sufficient appropriate evidence. And last point, there should be a written assurance report. I hope ये 5 points समझेगा मालिक. This is again an LDR for you from examination point of view. This is LDR. What are the elements of assurance engagement? Assurance engagement के LDR है मालिक, LDR है. Assurance engagement के elements क्या है? 5. First point party, second point subject matter, third point criteria, fourth point sufficient appropriate evidence, and fifth point report. These are points. And parties में how many parties are there? 3 parties are there. Who are the 3 parties? First is auditor, second is shareholder, third is management. Now what are the word here? Auditor is nothing but practitioner. Okay, so shareholder is nothing but intended user, and management is nothing but responsible party. I hope ये point clear है मालिक. Management is nothing but responsible party. भारत माता की जय. JP मालिक. Okay. Next concept is basically what is the difference between audit and review. Audit and review में क्या difference होगा? तो याद रखना, audit we have already understood the definition on the page 1. Now what is the review? Review is nothing but a limited assurance engagement. Review includes fewer procedures and gathers sufficient appropriate evidence on the basis which limited conclusions can be drawn up. Therefore, the difference between audit and review क्या है? First is okay, reasonable assurance और limited assurance में difference क्या है? Reasonable assurance is high level assurance. Okay, limited assurance is nothing but lower level assurance. यहाँ पर extensive procedures होंगे, यहाँ पर fewer procedures होंगे. Technically, I can give an OFU here. OFU मतलब only for understanding, only for understanding. Example, okay, example जैसा ही रे. Okay, procedure can be ICAI-ORR. What is ICAI-ORR? Inquiry, confirmation, analytical procedure, inspection, observation, re-performance, recalculation. These are the 5 points. But here, fewer procedure में you have I and A only. Inquiry and analytical procedure. No other procedure can be done in review point. Review में सिर्फ 2 procedure होते हैं. In assurance, there is a reasonable conclusion. In review, there is a limited conclusion. In assurance, reasonable assurance engagement is an audit engagement. limited assurance engagement is a review engagement. That is what difference between review and audit. This can be different between reasonable assurance and limited assurance also. This is again a concept which you need to understand with respect to LDR. I hope ये point भी clear है आपके लिए. PFI 2 मिनट के बाद देखते हैं, 2 minutes के बाद HFI के साथ we'll discuss PFI also. After that, whenever I ask you in examination, how many types of assurance engagement are there? How many points you will write? 3. First is reasonable assurance engagement, limited assurance engagement, and assurance engagement dealing on matter other than financial information. I hope everybody clear. Okay, this में audit आता है, review आता है, and examination of PFI, prospective financial information or the assurance regarding operation of control. That's how the concept works here. तो ये एक particular assurance engagement की कहानी आती है. Okay, now basically okay, one more question is there, quality of auditor. This can be just read here. You can just read it out, nothing extraordinary, but these are quality very tactfully discussed. One, the auditor should be tact, caution, firmness, good temper, integrity, discretion, industry judgment. Yes, साथ में आएगा industry judgment, patience, clear-headedness, reliability of some qualities. Reliability are some of the qualities. He must be having highest degree of integrity. Okay, integrity मतलब क्या? जब दुनिया नहीं देख रही है तब भी हम सही काम कर रहे हैं. That is called highest degree of integrity for auditor. When nobody is watching you, okay, you are doing then also a correct work. Example, when at night you are going through the road and there is a red signal, nobody is watching you, nobody is on the road, then also you are following the signal is basically highest level of integrity. And most important, the auditor who holds the position of trust must have a basic human quality. So technically from tomorrow onwards, whenever you go at night and you stop at signal, okay, just feel that factor. Yes, buddy, I am at the highest level of integrity. You are stopping at the signal. Nobody is watching you, but you are aware that you are watching yourself. Yes, man, highest level of integrity. I hope the point समझ में आया मालिक. Okay, जो सफर, but to the extent I hope this point is clear. The quality of auditor. Now come with respect to engagement quality standards. CCTV is watching. Nowadays CCTV is watching. Engagement and quality control standards. First of all, engagement standards कितने हैं? How many engagement standards are there? 4. So what are the 4 types of engagement actually? 4 types of engagement is audit engagement, review engagement, related services, or assurance engagement and related services. Audit engagement is always for HFI. Okay, audit engagement is always for HFI. Review engagement is also for HFI. But assurance engagement is applied for other than HFI. Okay, this is for other than HFI. Other than HFI में example we always discuss is PFI. PFI का full form is pro forma financial information. Pro forma financial information. This can be other than HFI. And last point is standard on related services which applied on agreed upon procedures and compilation. Remember this point. So technically ये वाला point this was there in May 23 or November 23 or November 23. I don't remember exactly. May 23 या November 23 में इसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आया था. Standard on audit and SRE के ऊपर समझाइए, ये दोनों के डिफरेंस के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में समझाइए. तो when I'm discussing on standard auditing, we are already discussing standard auditing in the next chapters, but these are the examples which they have given. ऐसे include 200, 230, 315, 500 and 700. Whenever the question comes like this, listen carefully everyone. If the question comes like this, okay, please do understand like this. Okay, explain difference between standard on auditing and standard on review engagement. You will be writing that standard auditing is applicable to audit engagement, which is for HFI. Review engagement is also applicable to HFI, but for review engagement, not when audit. Audit will be having a reasonable assurance, review can have a limited assurance. In audit these are the example of standards and these are the example you need to write. आप अपनी मर्जी से कुछ भी और लिखना मत. This is what exactly you will write. You may be knowing the standard because of some chapters in your syllabus, but remember you will be writing 200, 230, 315, 500 and 700 only. When you are writing this question, if I am saying you explain the standard on auditing and difference between standard auditing and standard on review engagement. So technically this will be the difference you need to come in mind. Standard on review engagement you need to remember 2400 and 2410. Now what is the 2400? 2400 is engagement which is required to review for HFI and 2410 is review of interim financial information. Just remember it is done by independent auditor only. Yani example 2410 engagement can be done by independent auditor of the company only. And I hope you are aware about this particular thing, this particular concept. Interim financial information is applicable to listed company in India because of SEBI. In listed company of India, okay, every quarter they are required to submit. To submit their financial information which is called interim financial information which need to be reviewed by the company auditor. So technically if you are a company auditor of the listed entity, in listed entity you will give first of all in June quarter one report which is called review report, second September quarter one report that is called review report, December quarter that is called review report, but last will be March which will be for complete year, that will be audit report. So total 3 review reports you will be giving and 1 audit report will be given. This is exactly what happens with auditor. So second point is basically applicable to the independent auditor of the company. I hope ये point clear है Malik. After that, standard on assurance engagement is there. SAE. SAE is focusing on 340 and 3420. 3400 is basically for PFI. Now what is a PFI? I told you we'll be reading HFI and PFI okay together. तो ये complete हो जाएंगे. उसके बाद HFI PFI देखते हैं. And next point is 3420 assurance engagement report on compilation of pro forma financial information including prospectus. Now please understand what is a pro forma. Basically, if I go right now to purchase a car in any shop, I will be asking, okay, please give me I want a loan on this car. I approach the bank and I say, please give me a loan for this car. They say, tell me how much is amount is car. I say 20 lakhs. बोले ऐसा नहीं, please लिख के लाओ. I will be approaching my showroom again and telling कि भाई मेरे को लिख के दे दो how much amount I need to pay for that particular car, and they will be giving me a pro forma invoice, and I will be submitting this to a bank. Bank will approve a loan, and based on loan I will be paying the down payment and loan. This is how things happen. So pro forma invoice is basically before purchasing the invoice. Same logic happens in the company. If company is acquiring one more company, if example A is acquiring B Limited, A Limited is acquiring B Limited. Now for this acquisition, A Limited require money, and for this money A Limited approach IPO, initial public offering. Now he will be issuing a prospectus. A Limited will be issuing prospectus. In that prospectus, A Limited need to give pro forma financial information. It means okay, they need to mention after acquisition A and B का total acquisition हुआ तो बैलेंस शीट कैसी दिखेगी आफ्टर एक्विजिशन, वो आपको पहले से बताना पड़ेगा. आपको पहले से बताना पड़ेगा. दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रोफॉर्मा फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन. एंड दैट प्रोफॉर्मा फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन का कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या है? प्रोफॉर्मा फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन का कॉन्टेक्स्ट क्या है? इट इज वुड बी इंक्लूडेड इन प्रोस्पेक्टस. हु टोल्ड दिस वन? दिस इज डन बाय सेबी, एंड सेबी से ये प्रोफॉर्मा बनाने के बाद यू गो टू ए चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, टेक हिज साइन एंड द थिंग्स विल बी देयर. I hope ये पॉइंट ध्यान याद रखना मालिक. एवरीबॉडी क्लियर? एंड इवन ओके शारू जी, देयर वाज अ कांसेप्ट ऑफ 3402, बट 3402 मैंने बोला था आपको लिखना नहीं है. दिस इज अ पार्ट 3402 याद रखना सर्विस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन का कंट्रोल का है, व्हिच इज एन एग्जांपल हियर. इफ यू रिमेंबर दिस अदर देन एंगेजमेंट, देयर इज एन एग्जांपल. एग्जामिनेशन ऑफ PFI प्रोस्पेक्टिव फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन और एश्योरेंस रिगार्डिंग ऑपरेशंस ऑफ कंट्रोल. दिस इज टेकन केयर बाय SAE 3402, बट 3402 आपको लिखना नहीं है, याद रखना. मैंने एग्जाम में क्लियरली बोला था, ये सब अपने रेफरेंस के लिए याद रखना. बाकी अदर देन दैट ये पॉइंट ध्यान रखना. तो 3402 इग्नोर कर लीजिए. अभी रिवीजन एवरीबॉडी इग्नोर 3402. आपको नंबर याद नहीं रखना, कंट्रोल को याद रखो. बाकी टेक्निकली दो ही नंबर याद रखना है, 3400 एंड 3420. ओके, दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच इज प्रोफॉर्मा. मेरे ख्याल से प्रोफॉर्मा क्लियर है मालिक. प्रोफॉर्मा इज क्लियर. प्रोफॉर्मा इज क्लियर. प्रोफॉर्मा क्या होता है? प्रोफॉर्मा इज बेसिकली फ्यूचर का क्या होने वाला है, मर्जर एक्विजिशन होने के बाद आपके फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट कैसे होने वाला है, दैट इज कॉल्ड प्रोफॉर्मा. अगला पॉइंट इज स्टैंडर्ड ऑन रिलेटेड सर्विसेज. इन स्टैंडर्ड ऑन रिलेटेड सर्विसेज देयर आर टू एलिमेंट. व्हाट आर द टू एलिमेंट मालिक? इन स्टैंडर्ड ऑन रिलेटेड सर्विसेज देयर इज 4400 एंड 4410. वन इज एग्रीड अपॉन प्रोसीजर एंड वन इज कंपाइलेशन. कंपाइलेशन मतलब क्या करना? P&L बैलेंस शीट बना के देने का. एंड एग्रीड अपॉन प्रोसीजर, व्हाटएवर क्लाइंट से आई विल बी डूइंग इट. क्लाइंट सजेस्ट कि भाई एग्जांपल प्लीज प्रिपेयर मी डेटर्स का लिस्ट, कंप्लीट डेटर्स का लिस्ट. आई विल बी प्रिपेयरिंग ए कंप्लीट डेटर का लिस्ट. दैट इज नथिंग बट एग्रीड अपॉन प्रोसीजर. क्लाइंट बोलता है एक काम करो, मुझे डेटर की लिस्ट में 6 महीने से ज्यादा कितने हैं, 6 महीने के कम कितने हैं, 1 साल से ज्यादा कितने हैं, 2 साल से ज्यादा कितने हैं, 3 साल से ज्यादा कितने हैं, ये एजिंग रिपोर्ट बना दो. कौन सी रिपोर्ट? एजिंग रिपोर्ट. प्लीज प्रिपेयर मी द एजिंग रिपोर्ट. नाउ हियर दिस इज कॉल्ड अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ 4400 एग्रीड अपॉन प्रोसीजर. आई होप जेपिंग मालिक, जेपिंग. तो ये 4400 इज बेसिकली एग्रीड अपॉन प्रोसीजर. MCQ आ सकता है, जो भी आएगा, लेकिन मैंने आपको बता दिया इसका कॉन्सेप्ट. देयर वाज ए क्वेश्चन इन November 23 और May 23 एग्जैक्टली, आई डोंट रिमेंबर, बट देयर वाज ए क्वेश्चन हियर. Done, Malik? And one more control is there, that is called SQC, Standard of Quality Control, which is applicable to the firm which is giving all services. अगर फर्म में एक CA फर्म है which is giving any of the services, then SQC 1 is applicable. Okay, that's your focusing on point. Why standard is needed? This answer is again basically point. It is establishing benchmark. It improve the quality of financial reporting. It promote uniformity. It focus on equipping professional accountant with professional knowledge and skills, and it ensure audit quality. This was the question which was in September 24 MCQ. ये क्वेश्चन 2 मार्क के लिए सितंबर 24 एमसीक्यू में आया था। ओके, स्टैंडर्ड्स क्यों चाहिए, उन्होंने ऑप्शन दिए थे जिसके अंदर ये ऑप्शन का कॉन्सेप्ट करेक्ट डिफाइन करना था। इट इक्विप प्रोफेशनल अकाउंटेंट विद प्रोफेशनल नॉलेज एंड स्किल्स एंड अदर, ये कॉन्सेप्ट दिए हुए थे। तो सितंबर 24 के एमसीक्यू में है। ओके, ये वाला पॉइंट है। एंड इफ यू वांट टू चेक इट आउट सितंबर 24 एमसीक्यू, यू कैन गो फ्रॉम वॉल्यूम 3 एज सच, वॉल्यूम 3। अभी अपन जो कर रहे हैं, कवर कर रहे हैं, वॉल्यूम 2 साथ में कवर कर रहे हैं along with this revision, and once our revision is done, अपन साथ में जो बैठेंगे वॉल्यूम 3 के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में बैठेंगे। बट दैट्स हाउ द कॉन्सेप्ट वर्क्स विद रिवाइज्ड स्टैंडर्ड इज नीडेड। आफ्टर दैट द कॉन्सेप्ट कम्स इज ड्यूटी इज रिलेशन टू एंगेजमेंट एंड क्वालिटी कंट्रोल स्टैंडर्ड। नाउ प्लीज डू अंडरस्टैंड, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, एम आई रिक्वायर्ड टू कंप्लाई ऑल स्टैंडर्ड्स? आंसर इज यस, बात खत्म। वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, वी नीड टू कंप्लाई ऑल स्टैंडर्ड, बट देयर कैन बी अ सिचुएशन दैट वेयर स्पेसिफिक प्रोसीजर्स ऑफ द स्टैंडर्ड इज कैनॉट बी परफॉर्म्ड or not be effective in the particular engagement. Possible? Answer is yes. In that case, you need to document, and also you need to document what are the alternate procedure and how alternate procedure is achieving that objective. What is the standard objective? Now, how alternate procedure is achieving that objective? You need to document that one, and also please mention the reason for departure. Why you are not able to perform that particular point. So there are three things. So if you remember this point, this question can come in case study format, where they may say that you are an auditor of A Limited. Okay, after that you are auditing financial statement. During the auditing, okay, you are doing the audit of inventory. Okay, remember now inventory आया तो दिमाग में अचानक आएगा 501। अरे भाई सुन पहले पूरा आगे, listen carefully. Inventory, and during inventory you are not able to perform one of the procedure, and then you perform another procedure which is relevant. In this case, what are the requirement of standards need to be taken care of. So when there is concept like this, a situation arise when the specific procedure as required would be ineffective in a particular engagement. In this case, you need to document alternative procedure, and also you need to mention the reason for departure, why you didn't follow that particular procedure. I hope everybody clear, and I need to highlight user to particular departure. तो ये मेरा प्रोसीजर रहेगा जो मेरे को बहुत अच्छे से ध्यान देना पड़ेगा। अल्टरनेट प्रोसीजर ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा, डॉक्यूमेंट करना पड़ेगा, रीजन देना पड़ेगा, एंड अटेंशन लाना पड़ेगा। अटेंशन मतलब हाईलाइट करना पड़ेगा पॉइंटर में, मतलब रिपोर्ट में डालना पड़ेगा, भाई यूजर्स अटेंशन फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट, आई एम नॉट डन लाइक दिस, आई हैव डन लाइक दिस। तोड़ मालिक, डन मालिक, everybody clear? Okay, now two definition which are pending, one is HFI and one is PFI. और अच्छा, last one keep in mind, this is LDR, last one LDR, ये LDR है, case study point of view आ सकता है, last one is LDR. Now two point are there, one is HFI and one is PFI. Now when I say HFI was on second page. HFI means what? HFI is nothing but a historical financial information. It is nothing but a information. It is nothing but a information which is expressed in financial terms. ये information है, पंद्रह लोग समझ में आ रहा है, सुनाई दे रहा है, ये information है जो किसमें डिफाइन किया हुआ है, फाइनेंशियल टर्म्स, किसकी, एंटिटी का। और वो ये इंफॉर्मेशन मिली कहां से, उनके अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम से मिली है, और उनके अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम में ये एंट्री कहां से आई थी, इवेंट्स के बारे में आई थी, इवेंट्स व्हिच हैव ऑलरेडी ऑकर्ड। तो टेक्निकली कीवर्ड्स को उठाओ, इट मींस इंफॉर्मेशन एक्सप्रेस इन फाइनेंशियल टर्म्स इन रिलेशन टू अ पर्टिकुलर एंटिटी, डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम कहां से, एंटिटीज अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम। कि अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम में डेटा कहां से आया, बेसिकली इकोनॉमिक इवेंट्स ऑकरिंग इन पास्ट टाइम पीरियड, ये समझा, और अबाउट इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस और सर्कमस्टेंसेस एट अ पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इन द पास्ट। ओके, दिस इज नथिंग बट HFI। तो HFI का कॉन्टेक्स्ट एकदम सिंपल है। HFI को ऐसे याद रखो, इट इज नथिंग बट एन इंफॉर्मेशन व्हिच इज इन फाइनेंशियल टर्म्स, ओके, ऑफ ए पर्टिकुलर एंटिटी, कोई भी एंटिटी हो सकती है, ऑफ ए पर्टिकुलर एंटिटी, डिराइव्ड कहां से आई है, डिराइव्ड फ्रॉम एंटिटीज अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम, एंड वो अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम में कौन सा है, फॉर द पास्ट इकोनॉमिक इवेंट्स व्हिच हैज ऑकर्ड, पास्ट इकोनॉमिक इवेंट्स व्हिच हैज ऑकर्ड। अब यहां पर दो पॉइंट है, पास्ट इकोनॉमिक इवेंट्स व्हिच हैव ऑकर्ड इन पास्ट टाइम, और इट कैन बी इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन और सर्कमस्टेंस एट ए पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इन पास्ट। तो ये हुआ ओके HFI। नाउ व्हाट इज द PFI? द PFI इज अगेन द सिमिलर कॉन्सेप्ट व्हिच यू कैन फोकस ऑन इट। PFI फोकस ऑन प्रोस्पेक्टिव फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन, जो भविष्य की फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन है। एग्जांपल HFI फॉर राइट नाउ इन मंथ ऑफ दिसंबर, HFI कैन बी 1 अप्रैल 23 से लेकर 31 मार्च 24 कैन बी HFI। बट व्हाट इज PFI? 1 अप्रैल 24 से लेकर 31 मार्च 29 तक अगले 5 साल का, दैट इज कॉल्ड PFI। तो PFI मींस अ फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट, अजम्पशन, बिकॉज अगले 5 साल का बना रहा हो तो देयर विल बी assumption काय के लिए, इवेंट्स दैट में ऑकर इन फ्यूचर एंड पॉसिबल एक्शंस बाय एंटिटी। ये पॉइंट ध्यान में रखना है, यानी एंटिटी कुछ पॉसिबल एक्शन लेने वाली होगी, उसके बेसिस पे ये assumption लिया है। तो assumption इज बेसिकली इन टू एलिमेंट्स। तो टू एलिमेंट्स का कॉन्टेक्स्ट है, टू एलिमेंट्स इज बेसिकली, वन इज इवेंट्स व्हिच में ऑकर्ड, इवेंट्स हमको लग रहा है कि भाई ऐसे ही सेल्स होगा, ऐसे ही परचेस होगा, ऐसे ही एक्टिविटी होगी, ऐसे ही एनवायरमेंट चलेगा, ऐसा ग्रोथ होगा, इतना परसेंटेज ग्रोथ होगा, 5 साल से इतना ग्रोथ हुआ है, द नेक्स्ट ईयर विल बी द ग्रोथ इन द सेम वे, दैट इज अ concept which can be discussed, and possible actions. Example, I'll be going in acquisition, I'll be going with merger, therefore volume will increase, whatever. This is base where PFI is taken care of. I hope ये point clear है, perfect भौमिक। Okay, तो Malik, Tor Malik, clear? This is basically what we have discussed with respect to your chapter 1. तो chapter 1 की कहानी में I have already marked you LDR which need to be taken care. Take care carefully, अच्छे से ध्यान रखना, अच्छे से close करना. After that I am discussing the next chapter which can be a chapter 11, which can be मतलब which is chapter 11. तो chapter 11 की कहानी को close करते हैं. Which is again a very good candidate for your examination. अच्छे से ध्यान रखिए, बहुत अच्छा chapter है examination point of view. Page number 136. 136 is nothing but chapter 11. Okay. So first of all, when we are discussing about here in this chapter, there are total 3 elements. What are the 3 elements? First, we'll be discussing about ethics. Second, we'll be discussing about SA 210. And third, we'll be discussing about SA 220 or SQC1. Okay, yani third part is combination of 2 things. One is SQC1 and SA 220. One is SA 210 and one is ethics. तो total approximately देखा जाए तो 4 चीजें हैं, but वो last वाली चीज तो अपन 2 को compile कर सकते हैं. First of all, ethics. What is the meaning of ethics? It is a moral principle which is govern the person behavior or is conducting of activity. It's okay. Need for professional ethics. ये देख लीजिए, आप ही पढ़ लीजिए. Okay, first next point आता है पहला question which is very important. That is called principle based approach or rule based approach to the ethics. Now what is this principle based approach and rule based approach? This is an LDR. So what is an LDR here? Okay, its concept is LDR. It can be for MCQ, it can be for theory, whatever it may be. Now what is the principle based approach and rule based approach? See, understand, rule based approach basically whatever written in rule you are following it. Example, in company law, if we go on section 140, 141, okay, 141 subsection 1, 2, 3, okay, where there will be disqualification of auditor. Okay, 141 3 subsection, there is written the auditor cannot be the person who is a shareholder, the person who is indebted, okay, or the person who is given a guarantee. If you remember this, I hope you remember this all point. Exception is there, okay, shareholder में exception is that your relative can hold the shares. Indebtedness में, okay, you and along with your relative and partner can hold the indebtedness of 5 lakhs rupees, and same logic which guarantee happens. I hope ये point याद होगा. Okay, so now this is called the concept of rule based approach. In this case, rule based approach, can my relative, if a company is there, okay, and company में कोई भी person का relative वगैरह रहा, can they audit it out? No, answer is no. Why? Because rule based approach is there. Now principle based approach, basically as per rule you are complying it out. As per rule you are complying it out. Okay, as per rule complying it out. You are complying it out. But other than that also there is a compromising situation. Example, okay, can a director of holding company become a auditor of subsidiary company? ये सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है मेरा. कहीं पर भी आप देखोगे सेक्शन 141 सबसेक्शन 3 में कहीं पर भी ये मना नहीं किया हुआ है. ओके, होल्डिंग कंपनी का डायरेक्टर है. ओके, मतलब दिस वाज इन कंपनी ऑडिट, बट टेक्निकली अगर देखोगे डायरेक्टर ऑफ होल्डिंग कंपनी कैन बिकम ऑडिटर ऑफ सब्सिडरी कंपनी, और अदर वे राउंड, कैन ए डायरेक्टर ऑफ सब्सिडरी कंपनी कैन बिकम ए ऑडिटर ऑफ होल्डिंग कंपनी, other way around. Okay, technically law will not be breaking it out, but okay, in the spirit of ethics, technically देखो कहीं ना कहीं तो involved है ना मालिक. In the spirit of ethics, this engagement should not be performed. This is governed by whom? Our ICAI. तो ICAI बोलता है there are 2 approach. One is rule based approach and one is principle based approach. Rule based approach means you will be following strictly. Everybody will be following strictly because rule is rule. But principle you need to follow through the spirit. समझ में आ रहा है? Okay, तुमको मालूम है ये गलत हो रहा है. अच्छा, टेक्निकली कैन माय ब्रदर बी एन ऑडिटर ऑफ माय कंपनी, और कंपनी छोड़ दो, कैन माय ब्रदर डू द ऑडिट ऑफ माय फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट? आंसर इज नो, दैट फॉर श्योर. बट कैन विनोद रेड्डी सर डू द ऑडिट ऑफ माय फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट? आंसर इज यस, टेक्निकली बिकॉज ही इज नॉट माय रिलेटिव. बट डू यू थिंक देयर कैन बी अ कॉम्प्रोमाइज ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस? आंसर इज यस, बिकॉज ही इज वेरी क्लोज फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन. So in the rule based, Vinod Reddy sir is no problem. He can conduct the audit. But principle based, in the spirit of ethics, okay, we should not appoint Vinod Reddy sir to do the audit of my organization or my financial statement. I hope ये point समझ में आया. I hope ये logic is clear. तो the essence of principle based approach to the ethics is that it requires compliance with spirit of ethics. Okay, the rule based approach is strictly following clearly established rules. It may lead to a narrow outlook. Okay, what is a narrow outlook? Rule based, because it is focusing only on rule, but principle based is broader output, Malik. Broader concept. Okay, so spirit of ethics may be overlooked. Okay, so which strictly adhering to the rules. Further, rule based approach is somewhat rigid. ये तो आपको rigid रहेगा. तो दोनों में से मेरे को बताओ, क्या दोनों में से एक ही कंप्लाई करना चाहिए और both of things we need to comply? Are we required to comply only one thing or both of them? We are required to comply both of them. They are saying both of them. I hope ये point clear है. MCQ आ सकता है और theory आ सकती है, whatever it may be. Next comes fundamental principle. I don't think so इसके ऊपर मैंने time डालना चाहिए because this is very common for everyone. Okay, integrity, I should be running on principle. Okay, whatever I am not doing unethically, I should not do anything unethically. Objectivity, okay, my opinion should not be compromised, it should not be biased. That is called objectivity. Professional competence and due care, I should be competent enough to perform the things. Confidentiality, I should ensure that my client data which is kept with me is confidential. I am not sharing with anybody. Professional behavior, I should ensure that I am maintaining a institute's reputation. I am not bringing any disrepute on the institution. Okay, so ये concept आपको ध्यान रखना है. Okay, technically I'm giving only one example. I hope you can remember this point with respect to this point, like this. Suppose I am going to a bank and I'm saying, bank, please give me loan, my client a loan. Bank says I cannot give, so I give the bribe to bank. I give the bribe to bank. Bribe I am giving to bank. This is nothing but professional behavior. ये professional behavior का violation है, उल्लंघन है. But if other way around, I am taking a bribe. If I am taking a bribe. Okay, now this is called integrity issue. तो ध्यान रखना, bribe giving, professional behavior. Bribe taking, integrity. This is what you need to exactly focusing on it. Acha, you are aware that financial statements are not correct, and then also you are telling financial statements are correct. You are already aware that financial statements are materially misstated. Then also you are telling financial statements are free from material misstatement. Integrity. So remember this one and take it point very positively. This is told LDR because this question was there in May 24 also and September 24 also. In both examination this question was there completely. तो जनवरी में okay, if this comes तो it means hat trick will be there. तो ये क्वेश्चन आ जाता तो हैट ट्रिक हो जाएगा भाई जनवरी में भी. आंसर क्या हैट्रिक्स आ सकते क्या? तो देखो, छोड़ के देखो. Okay, but definitely this stands to be an LDR. Okay. Now one more concept is there on the picture, that is called independence of an auditor. Okay, now what is the meaning of independence of an auditor? Basically there are two things of independence. One is independence in appearance and independence of mind. When I say independence in appearance, basically it is a rule based approach, and independence of mind, it is basically nothing but principle based approach. So technically if Vinod sir is taking my engagement, independence in appearance is there but independence of mind will not be there because principally he is biased with me. So technically independence of mind is basically allowing an individual to act with integrity, okay, or exercise objectivity and professional skepticism. Three things need to be remembered. MCQ. When I say discuss about independence, always remember there are three principles. In independence there are three principles. What are the three principles? Integrity, objectivity and professional skepticism. If independence is compromised, okay, one out of three will be compromised. If I ask you what are the fundamental principle of an audit or fundamental principle of professional ethics, these are the five. If I ask you what are the fundamental principle of independence, these are the three. Remember this point. Okay, बाद में बोलना मत, बताया नहीं है. ये तीन fundamental principles of independence है. If I am saying fundamental principle to an auditor or a chartered accountant or a professional ethics, these are the 5 points. ओके, तो ये याद रखना. ओके, तो कॉम्प्रोमाइज ये नहीं होनी चाहिए. तो दीज आर द फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल. तो टेक्निकली इंडिपेंडेंस इन अपीयरेंस, ओके, बेसिकली ये आपकी टीम ये तीन को कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो रही है. इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ माइंड, ओके, आपको ऐसे ही ये तीनों की तरह एक्ट करने को दिया नहीं जा रहा है. दैट इज कॉल्ड इंडिपेंडेंस ऑफ माइंड. आफ्टर दैट देयर इज कॉल्ड ए कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ थ्रेट टू इंडिपेंडेंस. अब मेरे को समझाओ, independence in appearance or independence of mind, who will be checking it out? It is an auditor who will be checking out. Suppose Vinod sir is taking my engagement. Vinod sir should understand whether there is a compromise in independence. Okay, so in that case there can be a threats. Now what are the threats to independence? This is your next question to be focused on. There are total 5 threats to independence. What are the 5 threats to be independence? First is self-interest threat, second is self-review threat, third is advocacy threat, fourth is familiarity threats, and fifth is intimidation threats. What are the 5 threats? Individually we'll discuss it out. It's a very easy concept but a very technical point from MCQ point of view. This can be a part of your MCQ. Remember the point. MCQ के लिए LDR हो सकता है in MCQ, and this question has been coming in MCQ, okay, frequently, including last attempt. तो MCQ में आने की संभावना है. सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट थ्रेट मतलब क्या? सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट थ्रेट occurs when auditing firm or its partner or associate could benefit from a financial interest. यानी example, the auditor is financially interested in the client, that is called self interest threat. Example, the auditor is a shareholder of the company, auditor is in partnership firm, is a partner of that particular firm, auditor is having a financial interest in that company, is nothing but a self interest threat. So if there is a self interest threat, please understand, try to mitigate, try to remove this threats completely, or try to mitigate and bring to an acceptable level, and if it is not possible, do not accept the engagement. That is what a concept which we will be discussing in how to mitigate the threats as such, safeguard to independence. But right now this is called a self interest threats. तो सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट थ्रेट्स क्या होता है ये अपन ने डिस्कस कर लिया मालिक. सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट थ्रेट्स अपने को समझ में आ गया. सेकंड आता है सेल्फ रिव्यू थ्रेट्स मालिक. Now what is a self-review threat? Self-review threats occur when during the review of any judgment or conclusion reached in previous audit or non-audit engagement, or where the member of the audit team was previously a director or senior employee of the client. A best example, okay, so who cannot be an auditor? Director. Why? Reason simple है, because there will be a self-review threat. Self-review threat means I have done the work. If you are asking me how I have done, I will be telling you I have done very correctly, fairly. अब मेरे को आप पूछोगे आपने कैसे किया हुआ है, तो मैं तो अच्छे ही बोलूंगा ना मालिक. That is called self-review threat. Self-review threat. अच्छा, example, director cannot become an auditor. But what if I left the position of director? Now, can I become the auditor? Technically, yes. Technically, yes. As per rule, yes. Because you are not a director of company. But our ICI suggests no. Please give the cooling period of approximately 2 years, 3 years, something like that, and after that only become the auditor. This is nothing but a part of self-review threats. After that, advocacy threats. If I am promoting some client to the extent that it is clearly evident that I am advocating him, okay, this is called advocacy threats. In that case, I should not accept the audit engagement or some other engagement which will be compromising my independence. Technically, I can give the example here. If I am a lawyer also, I am practicing advocate also. If I am becoming an advocate of my client, okay, then I am suggesting in particular case, in that case I should not be an auditor of that particular client. Or the second way, if I am promoting the client through IPO, suppose in IPO, initial public offering, on a prospectus, I am an expert. I have signed that point in prospectus that whatever your money will be there, this is used for this purpose. I have checked the prospectus, I have verified. If suppose I have written this one, okay, in that case I should not be an auditor of that client, because there will be which threats? Advocacy threats. देखो technically simple है. Okay, if I am saying there is an IPO which is bringing, I am signing that IPO and I am telling you you can invest in this IPO. You all invest. And if I come to know there is a fraud in the company, and if I bring that fraud in the company through audit, you will be catching me only. So in that case, I will be trying to modify the report. मैं बोलूंगा फ्रॉड नहीं हुआ है, एंड दिस विल बी कॉल्ड एज विथ थ्रेट्स एडवोकेसी थ्रेट्स. तो एडवोकेसी थ्रेट्स occurs when auditor promotes or perceived to promote a client opinion to point where people may believe the objectivity is getting compromised. Because I will become biased. I hope ये point छिपा मालिक. After that, there is called the concept of familiarity threats. Familiarity threats is basically self-evident. Clearly क्या रहा है, तुम bias हो जा रहे हो. Okay, now we know sir is nothing but which threats? Family threats. Okay, when auditor form a relationship with the client, which they end up being too sympathetic. तो client के लिए आप बहुत ज्यादा sympathetic हो जाते हो. That is called family threat. इसीलिए बोला जाता है client के साथ आपको ज्यादा नजदीक नहीं आना है. नजदीक नहीं आना है मतलब terminology ध्यान रखना. नजदीक नहीं आना है मतलब don't take it other way. But नजदीक नहीं आना it means, okay, for example, after 10 years you will be changing. If it is a partnership firm, 10 years के बाद 5 years cooling period will be there. If there is a proprietorship firm, there will be 5 years cooling period after 5 years. This is what happens because to avoid which threats? Family threats. You should not accept the gifts from the client if it is an extraordinary वाला गिफ्ट नहीं लेने का. Example, if the gift is given to everyone, कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं है, वो ले सकते हो. लेकिन अगर गिफ्ट सिर्फ आपको ही दिया जा रहा है, बाकी सबको कुछ अलग ही गिफ्ट दिया जा रहा है, सादा सुधा, आपको भयंकर बड़ा गिफ्ट दिया जा रहा है, शुड नॉट एक्सेप्ट फ्रॉम द क्लाइंट बिकॉज यू विल बी बिकमिंग टू सिंपैथेटिक फॉर द क्लाइंट. बायस हो सकता है, ज्यादा पर्सनल नहीं होने का. परफेक्ट, ज्यादा पर्सनल नहीं होने का. इट डजंट मीन दैट यू विल नॉट बी शेयरिंग योर पर्सनल मतलब पर्सनल लाइफ विद एनीबॉडी, बट इट्स योर चॉइस. बट डोंट बिकम मोर पर्सनल बिकॉज यू विल बी बिकमिंग टू सिंपैथेटिक. तो इसीलिए उनके साथ कॉफी पे चले गए. कॉफी पे जाने के बाद जो भी डिस्कशन करना है प्रोफेशनल डिस्कशन करो, पर्सनल डिस्कशन नहीं करना. नहीं तो अरे मेरे इसमें इतने प्रॉब्लम्स है, लाइफ में इतने प्रॉब्लम है, ऊपर से फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट भी खराब है, प्लीज तू देख लेना, संभाल लेना. मां कसम लग गई. सिंपैथेटिक खत्म हो जाएगा. एंड लास्ट पॉइंट इज इंटिमिडेशन थ्रेट्स. इंटिमिडेशन थ्रेट्स मतलब क्या होता है? यहां पर ऑडिटर आर डिटर फ्रॉम एक्टिंग ऑब्जेक्टिवली विद एडिक्वेट डिग्री ऑफ प्रोफेशनल स्केप्टिसिज्म. रीजन सिंपल है, क्लाइंट बोल रहा है फीस कम करो, फीस कम करो, बात खत्म करो, मैं इससे ज्यादा फीस नहीं दे सकता. इन दैट सिनेरियो यू आर रिड्यूसिंग द फीस टू द एक्सटेंट बिकॉज ऑफ विच नाउ यू कैनॉट बिकम स्केप्टिज्म, यू कैनॉट कीप ऑब्जेक्टिवली, मतलब यू कैनॉट वर्क स्केप्टिकली. स्केप्टिकली मतलब अलर्ट नहीं रह सकते. हो, पूरा ज्यादा स्कोप नहीं है, स्कोप कम कर रहे हो, दैट इज नथिंग बट इंटिमिडेशन थ्रेट्स। विद थ्रेट्स, इंटिमिडेशन थ्रेट्स। तो इंटिमिडेशन थ्रेट्स में आपका स्केप्टिज्म बहुत ज्यादा कॉम्प्रोमाइज हो जाता है। दीज आर द 5 टाइप्स ऑफ थ्रेट्स। यू मे द examiner may ask the question which may be like this, okay, they may give some case study, and based on case study they may ask, okay, out of 5 points this case study fits into which points. Out of 5 points, the case study fit into which point, and then you will be giving the answer. It can fit into one of the threads. That's it. This is what a concept of threat to independence. Sir, can the threat to independence come in theory answer for 4-5 marks? Can be possible. In old syllabus it has been asked. New syllabus में context नहीं आया है. Old syllabus में ये पूछा हुआ है मालिक. Old syllabus में this question has been asked as a theory question. Theory question. तो ये point आप ध्यान रखिए, theory question आ सकता है. Safeguard to independence. What are the safeguard to independence? Now, safeguard to independence is very much clear. Okay, the auditor should always be independent. Auditor must be consciously consider what are the threats which are there. Okay, auditor should either desist, do not, मतलब दूर रहिए, eliminate the threat, or at least put safeguards. So 3 things are very important. Either you desist or eliminate or safeguards डालिए ताकि acceptable level पे threats ला सकते हो. Example, suppose my relatives are holding share of 2 lakh. How much is the limit my relatives can hold? My relatives can hold, that is 1 lakh. Tell them to sell the shares of 2 lakh to make it at 1 lakh. That is nothing but, okay, safeguards to an acceptable level. And if it is not, you are not able to put the safeguard, do not accept the work. That's it. So what are the safeguards to put the safeguards which will be put, or a principle which you will follow so that the threat to independence is reduced to an acceptable level, or whatever corrects. ये 4 पॉइंट आपको ध्यान में रखना है. And this brings to the most important concept, that is called profession skepticism, which is actually a last concept for this independence. Okay, so why we are studying skepticism? Reason simple, because of independence. Independence will be having how many principles? 3 principles. What are the 3 principles? First point is integrity, second is objectivity, and third is skepticism. I hope everybody clear, Malik? भौमिक ने आंसर लिखा है, परफेक्ट भौमिक. ऑलवेज बी इंडिपेंडेंट, हैव IAOPS. ओके, कंसीडर थ्रेट्स ऑफ इंडिपेंडेंस, डेजिस्ट करो, अदरवाइज डेजिस्ट करो, या तो एलिमिनेट करो. एलिमिनेट आप भूल गए, एलिमिनेट करो, नहीं तो सेफगार्ड डालो, और अगर नहीं हो रहा है तो डाल दो. ओके, ट्रू एंड फॉल्स तो पूरा हट गया मालिक. ट्रू एंड फॉल्स तो आप भूल ही जाइए, क्योंकि 2 आइटम हो गया, ट्रू एंड फॉल्स नहीं आया, तो अभी ट्रू एंड फॉल्स आना बहुत मुश्किल है. ट्रू एंड फॉल्स 2 आइटम से नहीं आ रहा, तो आगे क्या आएगा? अभी उन्होंने वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट ही हटा दिया. अदरवाइज ट्रू एंड फॉल्स होता तो 14 मार्क और इजी थे. 14 marks were much easier than in true and false, Malik. Now coming on professional skepticism. What is a professional skepticism? Professional skepticism is an attitude which involves questioning mind, being alert to the condition or indication which indicate misstatement due to fraud or error, and requires critical assessment of audit evidence. एकदम रट लेने का बात खत्म है. It is an attitude which involves questioning mind, being alert to the condition which indicate possible misstatement due to error or fraud, and requires critical assessment of audit evidence. एकदम सिंपल आंसर है. ओके, तो एक एटीट्यूड होता है जिसमें क्वेश्चनिंग माइंड होता है. पर क्वेश्चनिंग माइंड कब होता है? जब अलर्ट आता है. अलर्ट क्यों आता है? क्योंकि आपको कंडीशन दिखती है. कंडीशन विच दिखती है? विच इंडिकेट, व्हाट इंडिकेट, ओके, देयर इज अ मिसस्टेटमेंट. मिसस्टेटमेंट के कारण फ्रॉड और एरर, एंड इसके वजह से आपको क्या करना पड़ता है? ऑडिट एविडेंस का क्रिटिकल असेसमेंट करना पड़ता है. यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू परफॉर्म क्रिटिकल असेसमेंट ऑफ ऑडिट एविडेंस ड्यू टू, बिकॉज आपको डाउट आया है. लेकिन याद रखना, ओके, इफ यू गो विद द डेफिनेशन, इट सेज वी नीड टू बी अलर्ट व्हेन देयर इज अ कंडीशन, बट टेक्निकली यू नीड टू बी प्रोफेशनल स्केप्टिसिज्म कंटिन्यूअसली थ्रू आउट द ऑडिट. रिमेंबर दिस particular line. Don't ever say that only when you will be, there will be indication of misstatement, there is an indication of misstatement, then only I'll be skepticism. But skepticism should be compulsorily throughout the audit. Remember this particular line. Okay, sir. तो पॉसिबल स्टेटमेंट ये ध्यान रखना है. After that, professional skepticism includes being alert to, okay, यानी ये alert to कौन से सिचुएशन में अलर्ट होने बोलता है. तो what are the situations where skepticism should be there? What are the situations where skepticism should be there? 4 situation. First situation is basically when audit evidence is contradicting with other evidence. Okay, बात खत्म. Example, external confirmation I have done. External confirmation से मैंने पूछा डेटर को 10 लाख बाकी है क्या तुम्हारे क्लाइंट के साथ? मेरे क्लाइंट का 10 लाख बाकी है. मेरा क्लाइंट बोल रहा है 10 लाख बाकी है क्या? 10 लाख बाकी है क्या? तो टेक्निकली बाहर वाला बोल रहा है द डेटा इज सेइंग नो 8 lakhs is only pending. Now here, because the audit evidence are contradictory, I should be a skepticism. Second, information that brings to question on reliability of document. If you are asking for one document and they are giving you a photocopy, then that is basically again a skepticism. Most important condition that means indicate possible fraud. If there is a chances of fraud, skepticism should be there. And circumstances that suggest the need for audit procedure. यानी अगर कोई circumstances suggest कर रहा है कि स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से ये ऑडिट प्रोसीजर परफॉर्म नहीं हो रहे, in that case you need to be skepticism as such. Okay, so need for audit procedure which is not able to perform, you need to be skepticism. तो ये 4 पॉइंट है जहां पर skepticism होने जरूरी है. I hope ये पॉइंट 4 पॉइंट क्लियर है, skepticism होने जरूरी है. Maintaining person skepticism throughout the audit is necessary. ये पॉइंट याद रखना, throughout the audit is necessary. Okay, throughout the audit is necessary to reduce the risk of consequence risk, overlooking unusual circumstances, overgeneralizing when drawing the conclusion, and using inappropriate assumption. Now please do understand with this example. Overlooking unusual circumstances मतलब क्या? Example, okay, sales was 8 crore in earlier year, then it is 80 crore in the next year. Now this is unusual ना मालिक, तो ये overlook नहीं होना चाहिए, इसलिए skepticism रहना पड़ता. Okay, overgeneralizing. Example, last year I checked the stock and it was good, so current year में I am assuming stock is good. Okay, now this is overgeneralizing the conclusions. Okay, तो इसके लिए skepticism throughout the audit रहना पड़ता, इसलिए skepticism throughout the audit रहना पड़ता. I hope ये समझ में आ रहा है मालिक? Why skepticism is required throughout the audit? Why skepticism is required throughout the audit? Reason is 3 points. First, okay, unusual circumstances will not be overlooked. Second, generalizing will not be there. Overgeneralizing will not be there. And third point, inappropriate assumption. Inappropriate assumption. Now what is an example of assumption? I hope you are already aware in particular chapter of audit report there is always concept of material and pervasive. Now material and pervasive is a matter of what? Judgment. Judgment means assumption you will be putting out. Okay, so whether these assumptions are appropriate or not, this can be taken care here. I hope your point clear hai Malik. Everybody. Okay, Malik. So basically now coming on with respect to your other standards, we already completed ethics portion earlier. Ethics में what we have completed? First, principle based approach, rule based approach. Then we have discussed what are the fundamental principles. Then we have discussed independence in appearance and mind. We threat to independence. After that, what are the safeguards which can be applied? And along with that, we have discussed professional skepticism. Professional skepticism, again, the concept can come in a part of MCQ. Remember this one. This concept can be part of MCQ. Remember with professional skepticism, MCQ wala point. Okay. Now we are focusing on the next concept that is called standard 210. Standard 210 is basically a terms of engagement. Now terms of engagement is basically what other things need to be taken care. 210 focus on first question that is called precondition for an audit. What is basically precondition for an audit? Before going on precondition for an audit, you need to understand like this. This is a client, okay, client or management we can say, and this is an auditor. Okay, client is sending the appointment letter. Auditor is required to send an engagement letter. This engagement letter need to be accepted by the client. Client means management, and once that is accepted, then only the auditor can start the engagement. That is what 210 says. 210 suggests. So 210 में first of all precondition for an audit क्या है? तो in order to establish a precondition means what? What are the condition to accept the audit? First, determine whether FRF is acceptable. First, whether FRF is the financial reporting framework is acceptable or not. And if it is acceptable, then obtain an agreement of management that financial statement management बनाएगा, internal control management डालेगा. Okay, access to all information will be given by management. Additional information will be given by management. Unrestricted access to the person within the entity will be given by management. Yani what are the precondition? Two precondition are there. First, whether financial reporting framework is acceptable, and second, whether management agrees the things. What are the things which need to be agreed? There are total 5 things you need to be remembered. First, financial statement management बनाएगा, internal control management डालेगा, access management देगा, additional information will be given by management, and unrestricted access is given by management to the person in entity. Remember this point, access to information, additional information. This unrestricted access to the person है, ये information नहीं है. तो while writing the answer, remember this 3 point. कैसे differentiate करोगे? How you will differentiate? Remember that one. So this is your first question. What are the preconditions for an audit? What are the preconditions for an audit? Okay, this is if these conditions are satisfied, then only you will accept the engagement. If these conditions are not satisfied, you will not accept the engagement. I hope this point is clear. After that, when we are discussing about engagement, what are the content of that engagement letter? If I am discussing that I am sending an engagement letter to the management, what can be the content of that engagement letter is being discussed here. The letter will include what are the things? First, objective and scope of audit. Second point, responsibility of auditor. Third point, responsibility of management. Fourth point, identification of AF AFRF, applicable financial reporting framework, and most important, expected form and content of report to be issued by the auditor. And one point will be mentioned that there may be a circumstance that what report I have communicated to you, there may be a change in that point, because during the audit I may come across some evidence which I may think that financial statement may not be true and fair. तो यहाँ पर मैं एक और एक कंडीशन स्टार मार्क डालता हूँ कि इट मे हैपन दैट ड्यूरिंग द कोर्स ऑफ ऑडिट द रिपोर्ट मे चेंज. तो दीज आर 5 थिंग्स व्हेन वी आर डिस्कसिंग ए कंटेंट ऑफ engagement letter. What I am discussing? Content of engagement letter. First is condition for accepting engagement. What is the condition for accepting engagement? Second, what is the content of engagement letter? And third is again focusing on limitation of scope. Now, what is the meaning of limitation of scope prior to audit engagement acceptance? If there is a limitation of scope means what? Okay, let's understand like this. What are the precondition for an audit? These are the 2 condition and 2 में second में 5 condition है. Now let's understand. I send this engagement letter to the client. Client को ये engagement letter भेज दिया गया है. Client को engagement letter भेज दिया गया है. Now client is saying, okay, auditor, see, look out. Okay, I accept that financial statement I will prepare. Okay, I accept a financial statement I will prepare. I accept that internal control I will put. I will give access to all information. I will give additional information, but I will not give restricted access. I will not give restricted access. This is nothing but limitation of scope. This was the scope of auditor. Okay, now management is putting restriction on the scope, limitation on scope. In that case, if this limitation is before engagement, do not accept such limited engagement. I hope ये समझ में आ रहा है क्या? Do not accept such limited engagement as an audit engagement. ये audit engagement accept मत करिए unless until required by law or regulation. If it is required by law and regulation to accept, you need to accept. But if it is not required, do not accept such limited scope engagement. That is what we have discussed here. Okay, but what if management earlier say yes, but later on management say no, please, I will not give the access. पहले जब engagement accept करना था तो management ने accept कर लिया, लेकिन later on management बोलता है मैं access नहीं दूंगा. यानी what is happening? Okay, there is a acceptance, there is a change in terms of engagement. There is a scope or limitation of scope in the engagement, but it is before acceptance or after acceptance? After acceptance. So after acceptance, what is happening? So first of all, याद रखना, after acceptance क्या सीन हो सकता है? First, request from entity will be there to change the terms of audit engagement, whether reasonable justification exists or not. Example, there may be circumstances where management may suggest that please don't consider this point in scope. Please don't include this point in scope. So in this case, there is a change in circumstances affecting the need for service. This can be first point. Change in circumstances which affecting change in need for service. Second, there can be misunderstanding, okay, in the nature of audit. Yani management thought that audit is required to be done, then they understood the audit is not required to be done, there should be some other engagement, or there is a restriction on scope which is put in by management engagement. So there are 3 issues which can reduce, there are 3 things which can change the audit engagement का terms. तो भाई एक्सेप्ट होने के बाद क्या टर्म्स में चेंज हो सकता है? आंसर इज यस. व्हाट आर द 3 रीजन व्हाई? बिकॉज देयर इज अ चेंज इन टर्म्स ऑफ एंगेजमेंट. दिस कैन बी द 3 रीजन. फर्स्ट, सर्कमस्टेंस में चेंज हुआ. सेकंड, मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग हुई. थर्ड, रेस्ट्रिक्शन. सर्कमस्टेंसेस, मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग, रेस्ट्रिक्शन. ओके, सर्कमस्टेंस का एग्जांपल पहले लॉ में कंपलसरी था. लॉ में क्या कंपलसरी था? लॉ में कंपलसरी था ऑडिट कंपलसरी है. लेटर ऑन लॉ में अमेंडमेंट आ गया, ऑडिट कंपल्शन नहीं है. ओके, चेंज इन सर्कमस्टेंसेस. अभी मुझे नहीं चाहिए, आपने 3-4 महीने कर लिया ऑडिट, ठीक है, पर अभी मेरे को नहीं चाहिए बिकॉज दैट इज नॉट कंपल्सरी है. सेकंड, मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग. मैनेजमेंट को लगा भाई यार तू आगे फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट हमारे बनाएगा, एंड दैट वाज एक्चुअली एन इंप्रेशन ऑफ मैनेजमेंट, बट लेटर ऑन दे कम टू नो अरे भाई फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट तो हम लोग को बनाना है. The misunderstanding was there. And third, restriction of scope. यानी management is putting the restriction. Management बोल रहा है भाई मैं तेरे को ये नहीं दूंगा मतलब नहीं दूंगा डॉक्यूमेंट, बात खत्म. मैं इससे मिलने नहीं दूंगा मतलब नहीं दूंगा. तो management is putting restriction on scope. Management is putting restriction on scope. This is what you need to understand with 3 points. So first of all, okay, after 3 points you need to understand in first and second, okay, justification is there. But the third you need to understand management is restricting because of what reason. If there is a rational reason behind it. Rational reason means there may be a circumstances which will be threat to auditor. Example, management is saying I will not let you go to check inventory. You are asking why management, why you are not letting me to go to check inventory? Management is saying okay, the inventory is in Ukraine. If you go to Ukraine, you will never come in this life, you will be coming in ultra pro life. Okay, so go if you want to go, you go. So that, if that is a reason, it's fair enough. Okay, then you need to consider that you can continue this limited scope engagement. But if that is not a scenario and management is not giving an access because of certain fraud reason or some other element, then you need to understand you will not accept the, you will not continue the engagement, you will withdraw from engagement. So if there is a restriction of scope, when if there is a restriction of scope, restriction on scope because of management is imposing that restriction or limitation, in that case you will not continue the engagement, you will withdraw from the engagement. This is what you consider, that is what where the concept will comes into picture. Now, if you think that first 2 points are there is a change in circumstances, or there is a misunderstanding, or there is a restriction on scope because of not management is imposing, but because of circumstances, in that case, you need to understand whether auditor conclude that there is a reasonable justification to change in audit engagement to review or related services. Okay, yani either you can change into review or related services. You cannot change into assurance services. Yaad rakhna, because in assurance services it is other than HFI, and in audit we are doing of HFI. So HFI can be converted into review और related services, not in other point. तो आपको लगता है कि भाई यार ऑडिट कंक्लूड नहीं कर सकते इधर, we can go with review or we can go with related services, means agreed upon procedure, something like that. The audit work performed to the date of change may be relevant to the change engagement. Okay, you can use that context. Okay, whatever you gather evidence in audit, you can use in the other engagement also. तो पहला पॉइंट आप देखिए रीजनेबल जस्टिफिकेशन है क्या. इफ द रीजनेबल जस्टिफिकेशन है तो आप चेंज करिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. लेकिन अगर चेंज करने के बाद जो आपने ऑडिट में काम किया है, वट एवर वर्क यू हैव डन in audit, can we use that data in other engagement? Answer is yes, whichever relevant is there. ये पॉइंट याद रखना है. लेकिन this statement is very important which need to be taken care. They'll check it out in the next statement. In order to avoid confusing to the reader, report on related services would not include the reference to. यानी अगर भाई यूजर्स को कंफ्यूज नहीं करना है तो रिलेटेड सर्विस की रिपोर्ट अगर दे रहे हो, यानी आपने एंगेजमेंट किसमें चेंज कर दिया, रिलेटेड सर्विसेज, और यूजर को कंफ्यूज नहीं करना है तो याद रखना आपको रेफरेंस नहीं देना है. सर किसका, ओरिजिनल ऑडिट एंगेजमेंट का रेफरेंस नहीं देना है. एंड सेकंड, एनी प्रोसीजर दैट मे हैव परफॉर्म्ड इन ओरिजिनल ऑडिट engagement except engagement to undertake agreed upon procedure. यानी अगर आपने जो भी ओरिजिनल एंगेजमेंट है उसके आप रेफरेंस नहीं दोगे, लेकिन मेक इट श्योर दिस इज ओनली इन द कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ रिलेटेड सर्विसेज. इफ यू आर डूइंग द रिव्यू, यू हैव चेंज फ्रॉम ऑडिट टू रिव्यू, यू कैन गिव द रेफरेंस ऑफ ओरिजिनल एंगेजमेंट, नो प्रॉब्लम, बिकॉज ऑडिट एंड रिव्यू इज ऑलमोस्ट सिमिलर, लेस इन स्कोप एंड अदर थिंग्स. ये याद रखना जरूरी है. Okay, I hope everybody clear. Okay, that's what you need to understand. And technically, if you think the change in terms of engagement is actually not correct, not justified, best option, withdraw from the engagement. And while withdrawing, don't go that surprise, I'll not come from tomorrow. ऐसा मत करो. Okay, इसके ये ऐसा मत करो. And that is where, okay, then you will focus on any obligation or contractual or something, जो भी किसको रिपोर्ट करना है, something logic ये देखना रहेगा, ये क्लोज करेंगे मालिक. I hope clear है मालिक. सर इसके बाद एसएम करेंगे क्या? हाँ मालिक करेंगे मालिक, थोड़ी देर में 15-20 मिनट में ये खत्म होगा मालिक, 20 मिनट का काम है. फिर एक 10:40 को अपन एसएम चालू करेंगे, 11:15 तक अपन एसएम का क्वेश्चन करेंगे मालिक. अपने पास टाइम का प्रॉब्लम अभी अपने पास टाइम यही है, तो वी नीड टू एडजस्ट इट आउट. ओके, अपने को वो थोड़ा सा देखना पड़ेगा मालिक. ओके है ना. और अपने को करना है कि नहीं करना है? करना है ना, करना है. मतलब तुमको करना है नहीं करना, मेरे को करना है. मेरे को जो लोग बैठे हुए भाई, आई होप मतलब अगर उसमें एक भी रहता है, I'm okay with it. If there is 1% also, I'm okay with it. एक क्वेश्चन है. ओके, सो क्वेश्चन क्या है? सर, बिकॉज ऑफ रेस्ट्रिक्शन वी कैन विड्रॉ फ्रॉम एंगेजमेंट, देन व्हाई इन ILA देयर इज अ मैनेजमेंट मे नॉट इंटेंशनली अनइंटेंशनली प्रोवाइड इंफॉर्मेशन रिक्वेस्टेड बाय ऑडिटर. देखिए, इन ILA व्हेन वी हैव डिस्कस्ड दैट मैनेजमेंट मे नॉट प्रोवाइड इंटेंशनली द इंफॉर्मेशन टू ऑडिटर, दैट टाइम ऑडिटर इज नॉट अवेयर ओनली ना. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? वहां पर यह बोला हुआ है कि मैनेजमेंट इज नॉट गिविंग इंटेंशनली द इंफॉर्मेशन टू ऑडिटर. ओके, इंटेंशनली. अब ये किसको मालूम है? मैनेजमेंट को मालूम है, बट ऑडिटर इज नॉट अवेयर ना. एंड इफ ऑडिटर इज अवेयर, तो वी हैव डिस्कस ना कि ऑडिटर कैन नॉट डू एनीथिंग. कैन ऑडिटर फोर्स फॉर द इंफॉर्मेशन? नो, ऑडिटर कैन ओनली रिपोर्ट. एंड व्हाट रिपोर्ट ही कैन गिव? डिस्क्लेमर और मॉडिफाइड क्वालिफाइड वाला. वी आर ऑलरेडी अवेयर. इनएबिलिटी टू ऑब्टेन सफिशिएंट एप्रोप्रिएट ऑडिट इवेंट्स, देयर कैन बी टू अंडरस्टैंडिंग. आई होप यू आर गेटिंग द पॉइंट. तो लॉजिक ये है कि आपको ये समझना पड़ेगा ये लॉजिक समझने वाली. ठीक है. ओके, नाउ दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव डिस्कस. एंड वन मोर क्वेश्चन. अच्छा, दिस कैन बी एन एलडीआर. दिस पॉइंट इज नीड टू टेकन एज एलडीआर. पॉइंट पैरा नंबर 11 इज एलडीआर मालिक. आफ्टर दैट वन मोर क्वेश्चन व्हिच इज एन एलडीआर, रिकरिंग ऑडिट. Now please understand, I am the auditor in first year. Second year, I am the same auditor. Now question, in second year, should I send the engagement letter once again? technically not required, but if you send, it is a good concept, quality mechanism. But in certain circumstances you need to send the engagement letter once again. What are the certain circumstances in which we need to send the engagement letter again? What are the factors in which it is appropriate to send the revised terms of engagement? So this answer is change. 8 point of change, matlab 7 point of change, and 1 point is misunderstanding. First point is misunderstanding, second point is change. Remember that any device or special terms of change: recent change, significant change, change. Remember this one. The first point, okay, misunderstanding between auditor and management, that there is a scope and objective को लेकर misunderstanding है. Second point, revised and special terms of engagement. Audit में engagement में change आया. Next point, recent change in senior management, significant change in ownership, significant change in nature and size of entity, change in legal and regulatory requirement, change in financial reporting framework, and change in other reporting requirement. I hope everybody clear with this point. तो ये पॉइंट रहेगा, ये पॉइंट भी आपको एलडीआर ध्यान रखना है. तो टेक्निकली ऐसे 210 में आई हैव गिवन दिस डिस्कशन एज फर्स्ट वाला पॉइंट इज नॉट एन एलडीआर, सेकंड इज नॉट एन एलडीआर, थर्ड इज स्टैंड्स टू बी एलडीआर, एंड द फोर्थ कॉन्सेप्ट स्टैंड्स टू बी एन एलडीआर. ओके, तो ये एलडीआर आपको ध्यान में रखने हैं. ध्यान रखने के बाद नाउ वी आर शिफ्टिंग अवरसेल्फ टू योर नेक्स्ट स्टैंडर्ड, दैट इज कॉल्ड तो चेंज याद रखो, एंड 1 पॉइंट इज मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग. ओके, चेंज मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग, 7 चेंज, ये कॉन्सेप्ट रहेगा. ओके सर, एंड याद रखना है केस स्टडी आएगा. जैसे केस स्टडी आएगा ई लिमिटेड के, यू आर द ऑडिटर, यू बीइंग अपॉइंटेड एज एन ऑडिटर, नाउ यू वांट टू कंटिन्यू, आर यू रिक्वायर्ड टू सेंड द एंगेजमेंट लेटर वंस अगेन, एंड इफ यस, ओके, व्हाट आर द सिचुएशंस व्हेन एंगेजमेंट लेटर नीड टू बी सेंट अगेन, तो वो सिचुएशंस आपको लिखनी पड़ेगी. Okay, now we are going on SQC1. Now SQC1 is basically quality control requirement. I hope you are already aware that SQC1 का कुछ समय ही बचा हुआ है. कुछ टाइम के बाद SQC1 निकल जाएगा. आप CFN में आओगे, there will no SQC1, there will be SQM, Standard on Quality Management. तो SQC1 की कहानी आप पढ़ रहे हो, अगर आपने आइटम में क्लियर कर दिया तो probably this is the last time, because by 2026 SQC1 will be replaced by SQM. That for sure. Okay, हाँ एमबीबीडी चल रही है अभी नेफ्रा एंड अदर थिंग्स में, बट दैट इज अ पार्ट एंड पार्सल. पर एसक्यूएम आ जाएगा, अप्रूवल आ जाएंगे, एसक्यूएम आ जाएगा. तो तुम्हारी लाइफ में एसक्यूसी की कहानी आखिरी बार है. तो टेक्निकली लेट्स फोकस ऑन इट. इन SQC1 में व्हाट आर द एलिमेंट्स वी नीड टू फोकस ऑन. तो एलिमेंट्स कितने हैं जो SQC1 में देखने पड़ेंगे. फर्स्ट एलिमेंट याद रखना, इसको याद रखने के लिए लेहम करके कॉन्सेप्ट याद रखिए. व्हाट इज लेहम? लेहम मतलब लीडरशिप रिस्पांसिबिलिटी. L स्टैंड्स फॉर लीडरशिप रिस्पांसिबिलिटी. सेकंड, E स्टैंड्स फॉर इथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट. A stands for acceptance and conditions of client relationship. H stands for human resources. E stands for engagement performance, and M stands for monitoring. ये टोटल आपने ध्यान रखना है लेहम का पॉइंट. इंडिविजुअली क्वेश्चन, इंडिविजुअली आंसर. ओके, इसमें से कुछ क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी सितंबर में आया हुआ है, सितंबर में आए हुए हैं. Not everyone, but SQC1 and SA220 are on the same line. तो ध्यान रखिए, बस मेक श्योर आपको ध्यान रखना है SQC1 और SA220 कैसे सेम लाइन पे है. मैं आपको ये बता दूं, अगर SQC1 कंप्लायंस नहीं हुआ तो SA220 is also not complied. Because SA220 is based on SQC1. SQC1 is for the firm's policy and procedure. If firm's policy procedure are not complied, SA220 anyhow it is not complied. So first of all, you check it out whether SQC1 is complied. If it is complied, then we can check for SA220 as such, because it is based on SQC1. So technically, if SQC1 is not complied, SA220 is also not complied. Everybody clear? तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लीडरशिप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसके पास होनी चाहिए? लीडरशिप से रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसके पास होनी चाहिए? ओके, लीडरशिप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज विल बी डिफाइंड विद द फर्म सीईओ और मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर. उनके पास मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर मतलब मैनेजिंग पार्टनर, इनके पास लीडरशिप रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी होनी चाहिए. हु विल बी अज्यूमिंग अल्टीमेट रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी फॉर फर्म सिस्टम क्वालिटी कंट्रोल प्रोसीजर. माय क्वेश्चन, जो फर्म के सीईओ रहेंगे या मैनेजिंग पार्टनर रहेंगे, ओके, ये लोग क्या डेवलप करेंगे? ये लोग डेवलप करेंगे पॉलिसीज एंड प्रोसीजर्स. ओके, मेरे को बताओ ये कौन होनी चाहिए? ये कोई भी पर्सन होनी चाहिए, एक्सपीरियंस होनी चाहिए, एक्सपीरियंस. ये एबल्ड होने चाहिए, एक्सपीरियंस पर्सन, एबल्ड पर्सन. ये कॉन्सेप्ट आपको ध्यान में रखना है 15A में. एमसीक्यू वगैरह को कुछ आया तो आ सकता है, अदर देन दैट नॉट बेसिक प्रॉब्लम एज सच. नेक्स्ट कम इज एथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट. नाउ प्लीज यू अंडरस्टैंड, वी ऑलरेडी डिस्कस फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल ऑलरेडी. व्हाट आर द 5 फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल वी हैव डिस्कस्ड? confidentiality, integrity, objectivity, professional behavior, professional competence, and due care. We have discussed this one. We also discussed, along with this 5 points, we also discussed independence in appearance, independence of mind. Now when we are discussing about ethical requirement, okay, here SQC1 is mainly focusing on the next target, that is called independence. तो independence के लिए firm के पास क्या policy procedures होनी चाहिए, that has been mentioned here. These are the following points which every firm will comply, will have in their policy and procedure to ensure compliance with independence. If I want to comply with independence, my firm policy procedure should be this, then only this will be conceptually clear, matlab this will be taken care of. So what are the things? First, communicate independence requirement to the personnel. Communicate independence requirement to the personnel. Every personnel should be aware about the independence requirement. Second, identify and evaluate circumstances and relations that create threats to independence. What are the threats to independence which are creating? Please identify and evaluate. Third, there should exist a mechanism in a firm by which engagement partner provide firm with relevant information about client engagement. Yani there would be one engagement partner who is doing an engagement. He can share that relevant information, what are the threats for this particular engagement. There should be some mechanism. Mechanism means मतलब क्या होगा? There should be some person with whom that engagement partner can share that information कि भाई साहब boss ये ऐसा ऐसा threat है and what should be done or what should not be done. This can be discussed here. And at least annually the firm should obtain W, written confirmation of compliance. At least annually compliance लेना चाहिए. Compliance लेना चाहिए means what? Okay, at least annually okay हमने सबसे लिखित compliance लेना चाहिए that you are complying with independence. These are the 4 points need to be taken for the policies and procedures for independence. Make sure अगर SQC1 आता है तो कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा SQC1 आ रहा है? पहली बात तो SQC1 दिया होगा तो बात खत्म है. But if in other way, if they are mentioning that please ensure give us the policies and procedures to be complied, okay, at the firm level. Which level? Firm level. Then you need to understand this will be SQC1. Firm level for independence. This will be what? SQC1. I hope ये SQC1 का concept clear है Malik. After that, acceptance and continuance of client relationship. Remember in SA220, I told you SA220 is exactly based on SQC1. So technically, whatever SQC1 का requirement will be there, SA220 will be matching it to it. The acceptance and continuance, the same answer will be taken care by SA220. SA220 says whenever you are accepting audit engagement, whatever SQC1 is saying for accepting the client engagement, you will be considered that information as such. So what are the information here while accepting the client information or relationship or specific engagement? The information should be checked is about integrity of client. Second is CCRT of the client. CCRT means what? CCRT का मतलब क्या होगा? Competency, capability, resource and time. These are the 4 points. And next you need to check it out, ethical requirement का compliance. So technically when we are discussing about this point, first of all check about integrity of client, second check about CCRT of client, check about ethical requirement of client. Okay, so 3 things need to be checked out when we are discussing about this point. Okay, ये 3 चीजें चेक करनी है. ये हुआ पहला आंसर. This need to be checked when we are accepting the client relationship or continuing the client relationship. Example, client is approaching us. So when he is approaching us saying that please do the audit or please do the review or please do the any other engagement, before accepting that engagement I should consider these 3 factors: integrity of my client, CCRT of my with me, and ethical requirement or independence with my end for the client. First of all, now you will be asking, sir, what we will check in integrity of client? Now the standard suggests more answer, more precise answer. So with regards to integrity of client, standard suggests these are the following matter you will check. You will check the reputation of business reputation of the client. You will check the nature of client operation, whether it is in something like it is not drug smuggling or something like that, it is not unlawful or something like that. Third, you will check about the attitude of client or principal owners of the client. So 3 things you will check about. What you will check about? Reputation of the business. You will check about the nature of the operation. You will check about the attitude of the client, attitude of the TCWG, those who are charged with governance or the management, something like that. Next, you will also check it out whether they are reducing fees of my work. Okay, are they aggressively telling me to reduce the fees? Why they are telling me to reduce the fees? So that ultimately I can reduce the scope, because it will not be cost benefit. So that is again a reason you need to check it out. Next, you will check out whether there is a limitation of scope which is put by my client, whether the client is involved in money laundering or not, and most importantly the reason why they are changing me unless until required by law. Example, earlier CA was there who was an auditor. Is his tenure over? If the tenure is over and they are appointing me, it's okay. But if tenure is not over, why they want to appoint me? Okay, why they want to appoint me? That is the main reason you should check it out. These are the points we need to check it out for integrity of client. आई होप ये ब्यूटी क्लियर। ओके, सीसीआरटी के लिए क्या करते हैं ये भी आंसर है, लेकिन ये इंटर में नहीं है, फाइनल में जाने के बाद आपको मिलेगा। सीसीआरटी में क्या करते हैं, अब इन एग्जामिनेशन यू प्लीज रिमेंबर व्हेन यू शुड राइट दिस आंसर और दिस आंसर। इफ द क्वेश्चन सेज अमित ताते ए लिमिटेड इज देयर हु इज अप्रोचिंग यू फॉर एक्सेप्टिंग द एंगेजमेंट, ए लिमिटेड इज इन्वॉल्व इन मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग एंड ए लिमिटेड का वन ऑफ द मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर इज इन्वॉल्व इन मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग, नाउ व्हाट आर द फैक्टर्स यू विल कंसिडर बिफोर एक्सेप्टिंग द engagement for the integrity of client, then you will be writing this one only. Okay, this one integrity. But if the question is that ABC Limited wants you to accept the engagement, so explain what are the factors you will consider before accepting engagement. These are the factors to be considered before accepting engagement. 3 points only. So 3 points or this point, when you need to write 3 points and this point need to be taken carefully. I hope ये point समझ में आ रहा मालिक? I hope clear मालिक? Next, okay, the policy and procedure on continuance of engagement. Okay, policy procedure for continuance of engagement. The professional and legal responsibility देखनी है, okay, and the possibility of withdrawing. अब ये कब देखना है, प्लीज सुनिए, ये दोनों पॉइंट सुन लीजिए, प्लीज लिसन केयरफुली. Okay, earlier when I accept the engagement of your, okay, there was no concept of money laundering case against you. I accept the engagement in June month. Okay, then in September and October month, I came to know that one of the managing director is involved in money laundering. And if this information would be available at initial stage of audit engagement, I would not accept the audit engagement only. In that case, okay, if that information come across me, what should I do? Okay, I should understand that whether I should continue or not. This is again a question. And most important, I should check it out. What are the legal responsibility and possibility of withdrawal? I hope ये समझ में आएगा ये point. ये 2 point समझ में आएगा, 2 point. ये 2 point कब करने हैं? ये information, this information I have not received earlier. This information, everything was clean. But over a period of time, when we started audited, during the audit, this information came into picture. And if this information would be available earlier, I would not accept the engagement only. Okay, in that scenario, I'll be considering this point. Everybody clear, Malik? Okay, human resource, you'll be checking for recruitment, compensation, training, career development, performance evaluation, etc. Just basically point. Engagement performance, again, this is very basic point. This engagement performance is again applicable or very important from audit documentation chapter also. When you are reading audit documentation also, this point will be again considered in your audit documentation chapter. Very small chapter, but very important chapter. If you focus on September, almost 10 marks was there from one of the smallest chapter. 5-6 pages का चैप्टर है टोटल, बड़ा डिटेल में, एंड इट वाज मेजरली आस्क्ड इन सितंबर एग्जामिनेशन. So what are the things we need to understand? Consistency in quality of engagement, performance, briefing, compliance, supervision, training, reviewing, appropriate documentation. One time reads follows. Consultation should take place in difficult and contentious matter. Contentious मतलब ambiguity matter. Consultation मतलब expert. Okay, we should use the expert. 620 if you remember. Significant judgments made in engagement should be reviewed by the engagement EQCR. There is one more concept that is called engagement quality control review. So there should be appointed EQCR. EQCR is mandatory for which audit? For all audit of financial statement of listed entity. Listed entity में EQCR compulsory है. Okay, for all audit. Other audits may have other audit. Example, the audit of private company, audit of public company. Okay, its auditor choice, whether this audit firm's choice, whether they want to comply with EQCR or not. EQCR मतलब क्या होगा? इंगेजमेंट क्वालिटी कंट्रोल रिव्यू. यानी क्या होगा मालूम है क्या? ऑडिटर जो है एक कंपनी का, उसको हम बोलते हैं इंगेजमेंट पार्टनर. ही विल बी रिलीजिंग रिपोर्ट ऑन 28 अप्रैल, बट बिफोर 28 अप्रैल ही नीड टू कंप्लाई विद EQCR. EQCR engagement quality control review. There will be one person who will be engagement quality control reviewer. He will check everything whatever he has done. Okay, in 2-3 days. In 2-3 days, ज्यादा लंबा नहीं जाता. 2-3 days, 7-8 matters are there. He will check it out, and once he is check out and he's happy, then this report can be released. Make sure EQCR report, EQCR engagement quality control reviewer report should be before 28 April. Then only that is very important. It cannot be after audit report. Make sure ये ध्यान रहे. Okay, and EQCR कौन हो सकता है? Any chartered accountant, any partner of our firm, or any CEO in practice which is in other firm. Okay, there is no compulsion कौन सा EQCR रखना है, आपके चॉइस है, बट वो CA चाहिए या CA in practice चाहिए. There might be difference in opinion with engagement team and with the consultant or between engagement partner and EQCR. हो सकता है difference of opinion हो. In difference of opinion आपको क्या ध्यान रखना है? Okay, जो भी है आप report will not be issued unless the difference is sought, and difference should be sought as per the policies and procedures. तो याद रखना, the report should be only issued after the resolution of such differences, and such differences will be resolved based on policies and procedure. Next point, assembly of engagement file should be completed in how many days? More than 60 days after the date of audit report. But but make sure this is only applicable for audit engagement. This is nothing to do with other engagement. Other engagement में आप अपने policy procedure के हिसाब से assembly करिए. Assembly करना मतलब सारा का सारा compile करना. Policies and procedures should be designed to maintain confidentiality. Engagement documentation is a property of firm and the retention period is not shorter than 7 years. ये अभी 8 years हो जाएगा. Technically आपको next year से इसमें 8 साल आ जाएंगे. लेकिन अभी के लिए how many years? 7 years. I hope your point clear है. This is something which you need to understand with respect to your SQC1. If you are complying with SQC1, then only you can say that you are complying with SA220. Okay, technically I will suggest you how it is done. Okay, basically we can focus on again. Okay, in SQC1 the concept was LEHEM. In SQC1 that the concept was LEHEM. In SQC1 the concept was LEHEM. I hope everybody remember this. The same concept is here. It is LEHEM only. LEHEM only, but LEHEM, okay, this is based on audit engagement. So SA220 is applicable to firm or audit engagement, only engagement. SQC1 is applicable to firm who is doing the audit, who is doing review, who is doing assurance engagement or related services. It is applicable, this point is applicable only to audit. So only to audit, my first point, leadership responsibility. Now leadership responsibility is with the engagement partner. Remember the word engagement partner. Earlier in SQC1, it was with managing partner or CEO of the firm. CEO of the firm or managing partner. CEO of the firm or managing partner. Here the word is engagement partner. The importance of audit quality. Leadership responsibility में क्या क्या है? Okay, 4 point तो तोड़ रह सकते हो. सबसे पहला, okay, you need to perform the work. You need to perform the work, बेटा. Okay, with professional standards. Am I required to comply with standards? Answer is yes. Am I required to comply with my firm's quality control policies and procedures? Answer is yes. Now tell me, if you don't comply with the SQC1 only, यानी example, if you don't have a firm's policy procedure only, how will comply with the second point? I hope you are getting the point. So SQC1 should be complied first. So automatically then we can focus on the compliance of this. If you don't have a firm policy procedures, how you can as a leader, as an engagement partner, you will comply the quality control of the firm's policies and procedures. So technically, I hope you can link this point. Third, you need to issue the audit report without any concerns, without any fear. And most important, okay, you can raise the concerns without the fear as such. तो report issue करनी है और concerns के बिना raise fear, जो भी concerns है वो raise करने हैं. And most important, okay, quality is an essential in performing audit engagement. So there are 4 points in leadership responsibility. In leadership responsibility, what are the 5 point? First, standards comply करो, quality control policies and procedures comply करो, internal. Third, okay, issue the report which is appropriate. Fourth, raise concerns without fear. And fifth, quality control should be an essential part of an audit engagement. These are the leadership responsibilities as per SA220. Remember, okay, sir, leadership responsibility में ये आएगा या ऊपर वाला what you discuss as managing partner or you discuss one more word that is called CEO, वो आएगा. See, technically, if they are saying leadership responsibility for an engagement, audit engagement, leadership responsibility for an audit engagement, leadership responsibility for an audit engagement, the answer is this one. Leadership responsibility from firm point of view. Okay, SQC1. Remember there's two difference as such. Ethical requirement. Okay, so technically the answer is basic. Ethical requirement, we have discussed the independence. Here they say, yeah, if there is a your threat identifying, okay, regarding audit engagement, communicate to the person which has been identified in SQC1. If you remember in SQC1, we have discussed this point. In SQC1, if you remember SQC1, ethical requirement, we have discussed this point. There should exist a mechanism in which firm engagement partner should discuss. I hope you are provide the firm with relevant information of audit engagement. This mechanism should be there. Only after that this can happen. If that mechanism is not there, what is the meaning of mechanism? There should be one person who will be there, who will discussing it out. If threats are there, how should you deal with it? वो mechanism वो रहेगा तो discuss किया जाएगा रे. I hope ये समझा क्या मालिक? Okay, so this can be done and reporting by engagement partner to the relevant person within the firm. समझ में आएगा? ये दोनों कब possible होगा? When it is possible, only if the SQC1 का mechanism is there. तो technically ये 2 point ध्यान रखिए. Acceptance and continuance, it is same as SQC1. What are the 2-3 things? Integrity, CCRT, and ethical requirement. And integrity में how many points were there? 7 points, which we have discussed very easily. Easy है. Money laundering वाले point. Okay, as assignment of engagement teams, HR वाला concept. Okay, the engagement partner will select the people of competency and capability. Engagement performance. This is again a third important LDR. Okay, this leadership responsibility is LDR. I forgot the LDR रखना है और ये LDR रखना है मालिक. Okay, here engagement performance. Very important point for audit of financial statement. Very important of listed entity. Other entity, I told you it's an optional. It is at the वो वर्ड क्या है, एट द मर्जी ऑफ ऑडिटर. Okay, it is at the discretion of auditor. It is not compulsory, but listed company audit EQCR is compulsory. So for audit of financial statement of listed entity and those other audit engagement, if any, for which firm has determined that EQCR is required, the engagement partner shall. तो अब engagement partner क्या करेगा audit of listed entity में, and for other audits where policy and procedure of firm is saying that EQCR is compulsory, he should determine whether EQCR is appointed or not. He should determine whether significant matters have been discussed with the EQCR or not, arising during audit engagement. And most important element which we have discussed, audit report should not be earlier than EQCR. Again, earlier has been asked in examination but can be there. And last point, monitoring. This is the last part. You can read it out. These are the documents to be focused on. What are the issues which are there for compliance and relevant ethical requirement, independence requirement, acceptance and continuance, and consultations वाला point. ये चार मॉनिटरिंग के टाइम पे ये ध्यान में रखना है. भारत माता की जय. आई होप ये क्लियर है मालिक. Technically, okay, we have already discussed, okay, the things which we are LDR, but this is with respect to your chapter 11 to be focused on. So we have completed chapter 1 and 11. Technically, in the next revision session, okay, we will be completing first the earlier chapter बैंक ऑडिट के पहले वाला चैप्टर कौन सा है? Chapter 9 will complete first, which is CAG and other things. The next session, and in next session we can continue with the particular point. Differentially अपन क्लोज करेंगे क्योंकि वो पहले मेरा बाकी है, तो वो एक काम खत्म हो जाएगा तो रिवीजन भी हो जाएगा सबका, एंड थिंग्स याद रखना है. सर इंटीग्रिटी, ऑब्जेक्टिविटी, प्रोफेशनल कॉम्पिटेंस, कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी इन इथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं आएगा. आता है इथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट में, पर कौन से स्टैंडर्ड के हिसाब से बोल रहे हो? इन विच स्टैंडर्ड, अकॉर्डिंगली विच स्टैंडर्ड यू आर डिस्कसिंग? इन इथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट 220 के हिसाब से, 220 के हिसाब से की जरूरत ही नहीं है, बिकॉज दैट इज टेकन केयर बाय फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ICI. तो स्टैंडर्ड इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड एट ऑल. फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल ऑफ ICI, which is code of ethics, this is standards, code of ethics, CA Act is saying you are required to comply with fundamental principle for 5 principle. What are the 5 principle? Confidentiality, integrity, objective, professional behavior, professional competence. ये बोला हुआ है, किसने बोला हुआ है? Code of ethics, CA Act एंड कोड ऑफ एथिक्स. कोड ऑफ एथिक्स मतलब मल्टीपल एक्ट मिलके एक कोड बन गया. वो कोड ऑफ एथिक्स में क्लियरली लिखा है. नाउ व्हेन आई से SQC 1 एंड SA 220, इट सेज फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल फॉर ऑडिट. अगर मैं बोलूंगा SA 220 फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल फॉर ऑडिट, अगर मैंने आपको कभी भी क्वेश्चन पूछा फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल फॉर ऑडिट, आपका आंसर क्या रहेगा? वापस वही फंडामेंटल प्रिंसिपल फॉर ओके प्रोफेशनल अकाउंटेंट, सेम रहेगा. बट टेक्निकली SA 220 में या SQC 1 को बेस बनाने की जगह इट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ कोड ऑफ एथिक्स, इसीलिए उसको ये पढ़ में नहीं है. अगर आप रेफरेंस देना चाहते हो यू कैन गिव इट आउट. बट ओके, टेक्निकली व्हाट वी हैव डिस्कस्ड इन दिस लेक्चर इन लास्ट वाले सेशन में, इफ यू आर कंपेयरिंग इट आउट के सर इधर क्यों नहीं दिया हुआ, इट्स नॉट रिक्वायर्ड ओनली ना, बिकॉज दैट हैज बीन एक्सप्लेन्ड ऑलरेडी. वेयर इज ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन्ड, वेयर कहां पर एक्सप्लेन किया हुआ है? बस ओके, कोड ऑफ एथिक्स में, विच इज अर्लियर ऑफ द चैप्टर. आई होप क्लियर मालिक. तो नेक्स्ट पार्ट विल बी स्टार्टिंग विद द स्पेशल एंटिटी एंड अदर कारो, बैंक ऑडिट एंड अदर कर लेंगे मालिक. सर लिखा तो रॉन्ग देखिए, अगर उन्होंने इथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट पूछा है, रिलेवेंट इथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट एज पर SA 220, द मेन कंसर्न इज ओके इंडिपेंडेंस इज मोर इंपॉर्टेंट रिलेवेंट रिक्वायरमेंट. कि इंडिपेंडेंस में थ्रेट्स आए तो आपको वो मैकेनिज्म जो SQC 1 में बताया है, वेदर यू आर टेकिंग केयर ऑफ दैट मैकेनिज्म और नॉट, यू आर कम्युनिकेटिंग विद देम देयर और नॉट. तो इफ यू आर राइटिंग इथिकल रिक्वायरमेंट एज पर SA 220 हैज 5 पॉइंट्स, बेसिकली आप गुमराह कर रहे हो एग्जामिनर को. ओके, तो डोंट मतलब समझ आ रहा है, मतलब अनलेस अनटिल यू डोंट, ये अगर अच्छे से याद नहीं आ रहा है तो फिर ठीक है लिखो, बट अदर देन दैट स्टिक टू द पॉइंट, दैट्स इट. आई होप द थिंग्स आर क्लियर एट योर एंड. ओके, दोनों चैप्टर लॉजिकली समझ में आ गया, फ्लो क्लियर है.